Yeah, Jason Wygant here from RacerX. Well, we gave Daniel Blair and his Main Event Moto podcast all summer to screw up being a part of the RacerX podcast network, and maybe they did. I just never listened to the show. I mean, I don't know why you are. But either way, we didn't get any email complaints, probably because no one emails anymore. So we're going to keep the show as part of the RacerX podcast network. But first, a word from some sponsors. Air Medcare Network. What if you're hospitalized with an injury far from home? You'd want to recover close to family and friends, and with an Air Medcare Network Fly You Home membership, you'll have control of where you're treated. You'll be transported to your local hospital of choice with no out-of-pocket cost, and you can now save $10 with the offer code 10MOTO. That's 10MOTO. Visit airmedcarenetwork.com/RacerXoffer1. That's the number 1 to get that $10 off your membership. Essentially, it allows you, if you get injured at a race and you're not close to home, you can get flown back to where you live so you can work out of a hospital that's local, which is a lot more convenient for family and friends. Also by Maxxis Tires. You already know that Maxxis delivers the best tires for your bike, but did you know that Maxxis also offers high-quality tires for your car, light truck, trailer, ATV, mountain bike, and much, much more? Maxxis Tires will let you hook up, pull the whole shot, and beat your competition in any terrain or conditions. Just ask the king, Jeremy McGrath. To learn more, go to Maxxis, MAXXIS.com. And this podcast is sponsored by ETS Racing Fuels. With unmatched consistency and performance, ETS powers some of the most winning teams in motocross and supercross. You already know the riders and the team, but you probably don't know the fuel. Why? Because champions don't give away their secrets. But now with ETS's new online ordering system, you can have ETS Racing Fuel delivered right to your door, your shop, or the racetrack. So it's easier than ever to get ETS's championship-winning performance in your tank, whether you're racing 2 strokes or 4 strokes, 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Go to ETSRacingFuels.com and you will have your own winning secret to keep. ETS Racing Fuels, the most winning fuel you've never heard of. And now, on with the show.
Thanks for listening to Main Event Moto.
Skivvy Underwear, SKVI.com.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Ah, yeah, this is nice. Snuck out here to the public pool at night with the wood grain.
Team Skivvy, baby.
What was that?
Team Skivvy, baby.
What's up, Scummy? Founder of Skivvy Underwear, right?
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy. Skivvy Underwear, I get it.
Team
you don't
Skivvy,
have to
baby.
keep saying
Team Skivvy,
it.
baby.
Dude, you're so... Man, just get off me. Let me go.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Scummy, you don't have to try to drown
Team
me.
Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, I get it. Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Okay, all right. I'm going to get some Skivvy Underwear.
You're listening to the Main Show, a Main Event Moto podcast, powered by Nature's Bakery.
Time for some Main Event Moto on this off weekend. Off month. Off quarter of the year. It's off season, baby, and it's time for 132. Huge shout out. Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metals, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda Cowie, KTM of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Key Bar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Main Event Moto. What's up, Joe?
What's up, brother?
Got your Eagle Grid hat on, huh?
You know it represents, son. Represent that Eagle Grid.
I'm just surprised that you, did you retire the other ones, or are you just showing off?
Nah, I just, we got a rotation going on. Sometimes it's A, sometimes it's Raiders, sometimes it's...
Raiders? Still?
Oh, hell yeah. For life, boy.
Are you happy about Antonio Brown, or are you
Por vida.
sad about Antonio Brown?
I'm stoked on it.
Everybody listening is like, well...
Get that biggity out of here.
Yeah, all right.
I don't like locker room cancers, bro.
Okay, DeMarcus Cousins lover.
Never even a DeMarcus Cousins lover.
Yes, you did.
You
loved him.
Look, he behaved until he left. And now he's on some domestic violence.
Oh, my God, I know, right?
All I'm saying is he behaved while he was there.
Oh, he in big trouble now. Oops.
Everybody,
hey, you know why?
Everybody messed it up.
Because when you're a biggity, eventually being a biggie catches up to you.
Did you hear about Kawhi Leonard's sister?
Yes.
We're going to talk about that on Main Show.
Oh, yeah. We got an update on that, which we'll get to in a second. But it's time for a show.
Yeah.
Jason Wygant is coming on the show. Remember how we don't have guests on?
Yep. Have we bragged all about that?
Well, guess what? It's the off season. So if you like not having guests on, well, too bad, because it's the off season. There's not weekly stuff to talk about and break down, so we got to be more creative, and we'll talk to different people along the way. We're going to bring on some writers here on then too. Just look, I tried my hardest to get through the whole year without having anyone on the phone, but Weege made his way on. Updated commercial. You like that? I love how he updates the commercial and then blows us out in the updated commercial about how no one listening to our show. Weege, have you not looked at the analytics, homeboy?
Uh-oh.
We doing just fine. So we'll have him on the show and talk to him about just some things, dirt bike stuff. And it'll be good. We'll do listener questions at the end of the show. But yeah, we'll kick things off with a little story for you. The game has changed, Joe. I'm going to Loretta's. We're all in. I'm changing course. You know why?
Just like Bennett.
You know why?
Why?
Because I have a little animal for a son. He did something this weekend. The switch flipped. And by the way, I'm just joking, everybody. I literally have the most unbelievably detailed plan for my son, and it is so conservative and so long game, so you will not see me in Loretta. I'm just joking, but he's making things tempting. He did something in his character this weekend.
That's the seed right there.
Dude.
I can guarantee you in a year, you'll be going.
No, I'm not. I will not be. I won't.
I'm using reverse psychology on you right now. You're not going to stick to this plan.
Wait, what are you doing to me?
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm not. I have a plan. All
right.
And I will ride this plan out, and I'm building fire in this little guy, and he is responding correctly. So I got to tell you what he did. Saturday night, rep racing. It's the final round of the Riverfront Series. He's all pumped because he's closing in on 2 titles, Joe. The 50 7-8 and the 50 Open. This is big time for a little man.
No doubt.
He's fired up. He's earned it. He had some rough nights. Remember the night when he weeded up, and then I felt bad because the stock suspension thing wasn't working out, and I had to get a new suspension.
Yeah.
We had that night, which was rough for him, physically, emotionally. Lost some points. But we're good. We're going into closing this baby out, and he's got 4 motos to go, and there's a fast kid there, this little kid named Alex, who is a ripper, who's beat Evan this summer, straight up, because the kid is, he's a ripper. And he's there, and I knew Evan was a little nervous because he don't forget. He knows that the last time Alex was there, Alex gave him a little spanking. And he knew, and I could tell his mood was a little weird. Evan is goofball, literally, the kid needs a straight jacket at mostly all times, and he was a little calm, I could feel the nerves, you know? Mm-hmm. Moto number 1, dude, not a good start because he's on a bone stock KTM 50, and they are slow, and the start is 2 miles long, and these little Cobras just kill him on the starts. But Evan's super good in the first couple corners. Anyways, not a good start, makes some moves, gets into second, ends up catching the kid for the lead, makes the pass, and pulls away. And little Alex kid comes through the pack too and gets right there, in his rearview mirror, he knew it. And so second moto comes around, Alex gets the whole shot. And Evan is rides as hard as he can and catches him just a little bit, gets right to him, but doesn't get him. And I'm proud because, dude, I'm all effort, right? He pushed hard. So I get back to the pits, and he is face turned around in the corner. Helmet is over here. Goggles are thrown over here, and he's bawling his eyes out.
Oh, no.
And he is dude, usually it's did I do good?
Yeah.
Do I get a toy? Can I have some Pepsi? And he's literally crying, flipping out. And I had to talk him off the edge for the first time ever. I'm like, hey, dude, what have I told you? If you ride with your whole heart, I'm proud. He's like, I don't care if you're proud. This is this is him.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I finally say, you know what then? What are you going to do about it then, Evan? What are you going to do? Are you upset? You lost? That hurt your feelings? Yeah. He's pouty, whatever. And he's just, being a baby, but in a good way for once. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do about it, man? Show me what you're going to do about it. And dude, we go to the gate for the next one. 4th place start, gets into the lead in 2 corners, pass, pulls away.
Nice.
And then the next moto, 4th, and wins that one. And then the 4th moto, little Alex gets the whole shot. Evan's in second, and I'm like, well, this is a replay of moto number 2. What are you going to do? And dude, the kid put his head down and rode the 4 gnarliest laps, made the pass, pulled away. Like, I've never seen him aggressive. I've never seen him that focused. I've never seen him be broken, like personally broken, and then bounce back and like do that. Like usually if he gets broken, I think he's usually a little sad and kind of like just like, well, this is where I am tonight. And it was just the first time I've ever seen that. And literally when I got back to the truck, I was like, good ride, bub. Like, no, I read in this one book one time, it's called Positive Pushing. It's just how you work with your kid. You push them in strategic ways. You don't go and overly celebrate the wins, and you don't overly flip out on the bad, because dude, you don't want to train your kid to, you don't want the emotions swinging back and forth all the time. You just kind of go at them level-headed. You just judge them on effort only, whatever.
Interesting.
So I go back and I'm like, hey, good ride, bub. And he's like, yeah, I bounced back. I bounced, because I told him, are you going to bounce back? And he literally is using these words now. I bounced back.
Yeah.
And dude, I've never seen him actually like even approach racing that way. He was competitive, angry, and then came back and was really good to close the night. And it was just weird. And I'm like, man, maybe we got to go to Loretta's. Maybe I got to step it up. And it took 30 seconds for me to go, not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen.
That's hot.
I'm telling you right now, we will not go.
All right.
For couple more years.
All right.
But no, I'm just,
Motoheads, you heard it here first.
yeah, I will donate. I already told Steve Matt. I see. I'm going to blow this. I told Steve Mathis on Pulp one time that I'll pay him $1,000 if I ever go to Loretta's.
Ooh.
And that's not going to happen. I'm eventually going to have to crack.
I like that.
Or maybe Loretta's. I've heard rumors that Loretta's was going to switch to Ironman anyway. So maybe by the time it switches, I never took him.
Damn.
So I
You're
don't have
going to
to
jump
pay
through that loophole?
I mean, this is what it is, dude.
All right, buddy.
It is what it is. But anyways, he had a good weekend. And by
That's
the way,
awesome.
this little Alex kid that he races, just, y'all remember his name too. This kid, it's fat. Like,
Got
he's
the
a good,
goods.
and he's younger than Evan. So I think that's what was pissing Evan off too, is he's younger.
Yeah.
But this kid's pretty sick.
Remember
And-
being that age, and like the age, it was like so important.
Which,
9.5. I'm 9.5,
2 months, yeah.
Dad.
And he's 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, but this little kid he's a little ripper, and I forget what he got at Loretta's this year. I think 4th, but he's really, really good, and it's good for Evan to have a little younger kid push him.
Yeah.
And maybe that was what he needed to kind of get his little boost in competitive.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So
I
anyways, it
saw
was
your
good.
post. Those trophies were huge.
Dude. They're like way big, and they were annoying to get home.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the problem was after the race
Did
Saturday
they fit
night.
in the Prius with the bike?
Well, dude, so we were in the truck, and they went
Yeah,
home
I'm
with the
just playing,
truck.
I'm just
But then
playing.
I had to go pick up Elena at Maggie's work, and I had, just to get her home, I had to put him in the Prius, because Maggie drove the Prius to work.
That's
so
funny.
Maggie gets out of work and gets in the car. So why are these 6-foot trophies from the trunk poking up through the front next to
Yeah.
me? I'm like,
Because your
So-
son's a badass, Maggie.
yeah, it's a 1 mile drive. Shut up. Get on without cackling.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyways, but fun weekend, tiring weekend, but that's why the show was postponed. He had his little awards banquet on Sunday, so we couldn't do it yesterday. That's why we're doing it tonight on a Monday night. Weege is going to come on here shortly in a few minutes. He says he's good to go, so I'll give him a call here in a minute. But before we get to him, the Main Show, our other show that we've had out now for a few months, it's live. It's going very well. We have kind of figured ourselves out, just playing around with different format ideas and styles and getting some response from listeners. And overall, I think we've kind of tightened up on what we're doing over there, and we're kind of excited to happily kind of present you all with a little sample later tonight. So when the show is over, we're going to give you a couple segments from the show so you can get an idea of what we do over there, which will give you a better idea if you want to come on over. And I'm excited. The Android version took longer than we wanted, but,
Yeah.
beggars-
Good news is it's out. It's
Beggars
ready.
can't be choosers. So for you Android weirdos out there, which there's a lot of you,
I know. Surprising.
like, I didn't even know they even had a phone.
Same
still.
here.
Like,
Yeah.
What?
But hey, it's all good. The app's ready for them.
Yeah, it's ready for you guys.
Go download it.
A little bit of insight, though, on the show so we can give you guys some ideas so you're not freaked out when you get there, because we've had a couple people freak out. It is not a free show. And we've had people like, dude, really? You charge a subscription? And the truth is Joe, we're putting out 20 to 25 hours a month of content. We don't have sponsors because it's not a moto show. It's more of a live show. We cover like random news events. We go digging for some fun stuff and kind of, it's very unique. It's very different. But I have had a couple people hit me up and say, dude, $4.99 a month. That's crazy. Well, it is crazy. I mean, we live in a world where there's free podcasts all over. It's unlimited. I mean, I have so many shows that I listen to and some that I pay for because they're good and I like them. And I guess I wouldn't use the word pleading, but I'm kind of just asking everybody to give it a shot. It's our own app. We created it. We invested a whole lot into it. We're still investing into it. We have plans for it. We're giving you full effort on something a little bit different. And if you like what we do here, I mean, if you're a moto only guy and moto is the only thing in your life that you care about at all, well,
stay here.
I'll save you the trouble. You don't want to go there. We tie in moto stuff when it connects to mainstream news over there. But if you like what we do, and actually if you want to hear Joe more, because on this show you're producer Joe here. Over there you're not really producer Joe. You're just Joe. Take the trip over and give it a shot. Download the app. It's free to download. It's the main show in the Apple iTunes store, and then on the Android, I don't know how that works.
Neither do I. I think they use Google Play, and it's still called the main show.
Called the main show, yeah. And you download it, and it's $4.99 a month, and we give you 4 episodes a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I have had a couple people that literally wrote me and said, $4.99 seemed a little stiff, but I gave it a shot. And they've literally in a month came back and said, dude, honestly, you've ruined Main Event Moto for me. I'm waiting for the next episode of Main Show because we've really fine-tuned what we're doing there.
We have a lot of fun over there.
It's a little looser, a little bit more open, a little bit more opinionated, a little less protective, which could be good or bad depending on...
And it's a trust tree, so if you download it, you're in the tree. Yeah,
it's a trust tree also. We talk about things that aren't, I would say, I don't need. Well, just give it a shot. I'm asking everybody, look, we've put out how many episodes now? What are we on? 132 of this?
We'll be on 58.
And we've got sponsors that help us do this show. But over there, we're putting our heart and soul in it. And I ask you guys, if you're willing, give it a shot. Give us 1 month of your time. And we make it super easy to unsubscribe, so that way you don't get rang up. But put down that Whopper meal just once. Give us a shot, and if you like it, which I think you will, I think we could be with you every day of the week. And if you don't, then delete it and delete us from your life if we suck that bad.
I knew you were going to say that, and I got to be the one to be like, it's all good, baby. You can stick with the Main Event Moto show.
I love how calm you act on this show. And then over there, you're like a fire-breathing dragon of lunacy.
It's not even true.
But anyway.
Uh-oh. Is that the Weege man?
Yeah, it is.
No,
it's not. Why is this call coming in right now? That's a weird one. I'm going to have to just press the forward button on that one. That's weird timing for that call. Anyways, all right, let's get Weege on the phone, though, as soon as this stops ringing. And we'll talk to Weege when he's gone. We'll do listener questions, and then we'll give you a little taste of the main show and give you guys an idea of what we do over there. But let's ring him up.
Main Event Moto.
Let's be real. Kids and adults like things that taste good. What if you had a food that tasted unreal and was healthy?
Dad, get me some Nature's Bakery.
What flavor, Evan?
Any, duh.
Seriously, my kid is a pain when it comes to track snacks, but since we started eating Nature's Bakery, it's gotten a lot easier.
But Dad, don't you always call Mom a track snack?
That's not what I mean, Evan. Make sure you eat Nature's Bakery when you're at the track. Convenience is everything to us in the Batcave, and that's why we rock a key bar and no toil filters. Trust producer Joe, you're sick of that jingle jangle in your pocket.
Yes, sir. Just go get a key bar, like your Bat Bros.
And if you're not using no toil filters, you probably still have a flip phone. They make one of the worst bike chores easy. Throw the filter in the wash machine with your ladies' panties, and they'll never be cleaner. Get with the program and get a key bar and switch to no toil. Pay attention, Motoheads. I'm a picky SOB, especially when it comes to products on my son's bike. That's why we run Mika bars, sprockets and chains, and a gut seat cover, and it's not even negotiable. Look, if you care about quality and performance on your bike, you'll be running Mika metals and gut seats and covers. And if you don't, you're a what, Evan?
A noob like Uncle Vincent.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Yo.
What's up, bro?
Hey, this is good.
Welcome to Main Event Moto.
Glad to be on. I don't think I was on, honestly, since, well, I think I'm just on before outdoors each year. That's it.
You're busy, man. I
Yeah.
don't want to bother you. Plus, you got to...
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I know. Plus, you got to deal with Steve and JT all summer long, so I let you do that.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, hold on. The wife's calling me. Let me forward her voice to voicemail again. She just doesn't get the hint. When you forward someone repeatedly, do you think that means like they don't want to talk to you or they can't at this moment? Right?
You're using they, but it's your wife, so I don't think any rules apply.
Well, let me check my text messages. Nothing from her, so it's not important.
Okay, so nobody's dead?
Nope. Well, that's harsh. I hope not. It's just 2 calls in the last 2 minutes, so I don't know yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, you better hope nobody's dead.
Should I text her? Maybe the cats. I've been having cat problems at home lately, man. I got a new one. I introduced a new one, and the old one is not cool. But the new one is like, look, I'm here. I'm running this turf now, and the old one's like, no, you're not. And they battle every single day. So
okay, that's a very good percentage then that's actually what that call's about, huh?
No, because that usually goes on about 5 in the morning. That's when they fight. They like to fight when everyone's asleep.
And wake you up?
Yeah, I've always thought that like cats usually like to fight in front of you because they're trying to show off these two, it's really one-on-one and it's during private time. Like they actually have some serious things to work out, but we'll be all right.
Okay.
So how you doing, dude?
Let her know. I feel like it could be borderline emergency sometimes.
Nope. She just texted me, just calling to say hi. Wow, that's obnoxious.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Your wife called to say hi.
Yeah, weirdo, right? Hey, so how do you feel? Like the week after Vegas, like the 2 weeks after, I just feel like a free man. Like I've been in prison. Handcuffs are off. I'm just roaming the streets like a wild man. Is that you right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It really didn't kick into me until this weekend because I actually worked a truck race for Red Bull Labor Day weekend. So, honestly, this Saturday and Sunday, I happened to stack up enough stuff. I'd only been home one weekend since freaking March.
Wow.
It was terrible. I had not realized it. It gets hard, actually, because there's so much pressure. You're like, okay, we should have an enjoyable, family, fun, relaxing, not too intense weekend.
Right.
But also the list of things that I probably should do. So it's really hard, actually.
Do you go through a deal at home where you just want to be home and they, meaning the family, just want to do something?
No, because I want to go someplace and do something all the time, so it's never a problem.
Oh, man, you're
I'm
weird.
literally the one. I'm literally the one saying, like, I got a red eye. I'll be home 7 in the morning. I had a red eye. Let's do something. Let's make her happen. And then, of course, on that day, I'm a complete POS because I flew red eye. But that's what I wanted to do.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's not a problem. That's not a problem. The problem is, do I do chores or do I be dad that plays with the kids, or I do be husband that does chores? Like I got 30 weeks of that built up now.
Oh man. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to give you a nice little weekend off break before I talk to you. So we took last weekend off, but we are back at it now because the off season is going. So I want to talk to Weege.
Good luck for September, dude. It's not easy.
Oh, I know. And there's a lot going on. I even talked to Eric Pernard a little bit today about Montreal Supercross. Obviously, Motocross of Nations is coming, Monster Cup, and then Paris, Geneva. They all kind of like fly by, and then the next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and here we go. So it doesn't end up being much of an off season. In fact, I was even thinking about that today, talking to Jacob Hayes. The off season's almost worse in a way because you're kind of prepping, you're fixing things, and then you're kind of having these feelings like you're running out of time, even though you have a lot of time. And then all of a sudden you're in the season. When you're in the season, you're just kind of going. You almost turn into a little bit of a robot. But he says he almost feels like more paranoid in the off season because he's worried about this and worried about that. When the season's going, you don't even have time to worry. So it kind of ends up flying by. I'd say for the fans, probably seems like a long time, but I think for everybody that's involved in this thing, I almost feel like it might be worse.
Yeah, I totally agree because the problem is you have a very defined job on weekends during the season, and maybe you could do a better job or a worse job at it, but at least you know you did your job.
Right.
When it's a complete blank canvas, like this is what I'm wrestling with. I finally had my first weekend here at home since, I think, March. Since Nashville Supercross, I've been on the road every weekend but one.
Wow.
And this weekend was like, how do I, by Sunday night, feel like I did it this weekend? I accomplished in the 48 hours that I had enough. How do I define that? Like, for me and you, normally you do a live television show. That's fairly well worth a pat on the back. There are many that could probably say we could do a better job, but we definitely did something, something significant. If you're Jacob Hayes, you raced 230 plus twos, you probably did something. You definitely did something.
Right.
For me, it's total paranoia, and it is stressful because I'm like, am I making the most out of this time I get? I don't know. How do I know?
Right.
Tell me. How do I know? Yeah.
How'd the summer go for you, though? You happy? I mean, I know you guys had some weird issues early, which I found to be comical. But
it was pure comedy.
But the telecaster there at the end, what was it again? Oh God, someone already made a fake Twitter about it. K-Frame Wayne.
Oh, K-Frame, yeah. Wayne, how's your K-Frame?
Well, the thing is you guys started out with some goofy stuff, and I felt so bad because I know the inner workings in the truck. And I'm just I'm honestly laughing at you a little bit just because I thought it was funny that it was all coming to you because that's just what happens. It always falls on us. But then you guys got in a rhythm, though. Everything went smooth. I felt like for the middle half, it was just moto after moto after moto. And then, of course, dude, K-Frame comes out, and you guys had to end where it started with some goofy stuff. Yeah, and
I'm confused. The K-Frame was such a hit because I feel like some of the other great ones that we had, the watch alarm, that was the all-timer. Me thinking my watch went off during the show and then not having to watch the next weekend and hearing the same sound and then completely and totally losing my mind. Like, these are the things that make people mass murderers, right? Like, is it just me? Am I the only one hearing this? I thought that was the topper. We did have Christian Craig crash out of practice at High Point, but he somehow was a consistent 23-23 in the motos.
Yeah, Craig
not competing.
Craig Christian, he did pretty good.
He did solid.
Well, it wasn't him.
Every single moto.
It wasn't him, but you guys had a couple backwards namers too, which I thought was great.
Oh, dude, I got attacked. I want to say this. I barely ever get legitimately attacked on social media. Like, I don't know why, but people are very, very cool to me. But I did have a dude hit me up after Washougal, and he's like, does Jason Wygant even study the names of the riders? He describes Tamita as if it's his last name, but it's his first. And I'm like, it is his last name. And he's like, not according to your own graphics. Well, and I was like,
you know what I think happened? Here's what happened.
Yeah.
Supercross, we got hit so hard this year. Like, they went at us so bad this year. And this was my first, I swear, I feel like every year I gain a little bit more responsibility. I feel like I've gotten better every single year. And the hate has grown more and more every single year. And then this year, I mean, we all were getting it like every week. I swear it was just onslaught. And it seeped into the outdoors, and you guys, you got no break. It was like, look, the bash crowd was like, you know what? I don't feel like stopping. I don't want to take a break. Let's keep it going. Let's get these guys next.
No, I have to say, dude, I'm gonna say this over and over. Like, I get like 3 hate tweets a year, like 3. Like, I get almost nothing. Like, I go on YouTube after I post these videos, and they're all like, sweet, dude, keep it coming. I'm like, what is the deal? Like, I don't get... But as far as the technical stuff, it's a joke, I think, that people bring it to me. It's got nothing to do with me.
It's all
so
you.
I don't care.
It's all you.
But the K-frame deal, I cannot... So, apparently, I learned from Bondo and Manhart, our buddies, our producer and director, a K-frame is a switcher, so it is the thing that is taking the telestrator and taking that signal and putting it into the TV show. So they were asking Wayne, is the K-frame working with this telestrator? And apparently they forgot to erase that. But that one really, that got some buzz, man. That had some hype.
Do you know whose fault that really was? It was Grant's.
Wayne's?
It was Grant's. It was
That's
Grant's
a lot of words for
fault. It was Grant's fault.
You know some of the people on this crew. I can tell you, and you believe me, I've seen way worse things drawn on that screen.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God it was only Wayne Hauser K-frame.
Could you imagine if it was a real big mistake? Oh, man.
And that got out? Oh, my gosh. Yes. So we've had to take steps. I would not be surprised, by the way, if there was an internal memo of, like, think of what you're putting on the telestrator to test it forever. Because they did have to say, when that watch alarm deal was happening, and it was what I thought was my watch, but it turned out it wasn't my watch. It was some other thing. They had to put like a memo in the production notes, like make sure every monitor in every truck, the volume is turned down in case one, because Dude, all they are just regular TVs.
Right.
Our monitors are just TVs you could buy at Best Buy. So, I don't know. If one of them backs up, you're going to hear it. So we had to make a memo. Make sure all volumes on all monitors are turned down.
Well, just sometimes the little mistakes can help you from making the big one. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe, yes. There will never be any foul language written on that screen. I can guarantee you that.
And don't even joke around near a microphone. You never know when one's hot. You never know.
Yeah. Well, a couple times, way back in the day when Emmett and I were doing the show together, our internet show, we have practice in the morning, and if, I don't know why someone would log in like an hour early, but maybe they got their time zones off or something. Sometimes that does leak out, like it's just playing.
Right.
Even though we're not on the air. And, Emmett and I, one of our favorite stories is we were starting to get into talking about Jason Lawrence. And,
that was your problem right there.
And it's what direction these stories are going to go. You're going to start telling stories that shouldn't get out on the air. And somebody, I don't remember who it was, because this was like 10 years ago, comes flying in and like, stop talking, we can hear everything you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
We did that.
All microphones are hot.
Race Day Live, me and Holly a couple times have been, 10 minutes before the show. We always have our headphones on. We're watching. We actually sometimes, depending on, I guess, the day, we'll put our headphones on and we'll watch the untimed practice and just kind of practice commentating. Me and Jim are just talking. Hey, check out what's his name over there. Look at that line, dude. Yeah, I didn't think that double was doable. What? And we'll be talking, and we've a couple times started joking around about stuff. And they go, "Hey guys, this is maybe a test stream or I don't know what, but they're like, just maybe stop." So, just in case.
And look, I understand that every mic is a live mic, but. Dude, you're in there for hours. Like, for them to tell GL and I, or you and Jim or anybody, like, sit in this rig with these headsets on for 1 hour, but do not talk.
Yeah.
Be silent and use hand signals for the next hour, just in case. Like, that's the report, right? You and Jim have to talk off show a little bit.
Well, and usually we'll rehearse. And then we'll walk away, and he gets, his Diet Coke, and I, go and fix my hair because it's having issues bright and early. And I got to get a little comb over there in the back because I got a little thinning action going there near the back of the skull. So I got a little clean up there.
Keep your head up.
Hey, I get texts during the show sometimes. My mom will be like, "Fix your hair in the back; it's exposing your thinning." And I'm like, "Well, whatever." But you know what I mean? That those 15, 20 minutes before, sometimes if we're in the mood and we're at a fun place, depending on the venue, we'll just sit there and talk and whatever. So you got to be careful of that. That's just how I'm saying is I've learned
hard not to.
I've learned to just stay away.
I know, but it's hard not to not speak at all when someone's sitting right next to you and you have a lot of time.
I know. Hey, so let's talk some dirt bikes. I want to do a little bit of past, a little bit of present, a little bit of future. And when I say past, I'm meaning like the last couple months. Present as in Montreal, because I'm very anxious because I want to see what Malcolm does now that Malcolm is back. And apparently, from someone who I talked to today, says he is in like ridiculous shape, better than he was last year even already. And I'm just like, so excited because I'm just fingers crossed that he's Malcolm from last year, but all year. But anyways, before we do that, AC's championship. I know you, Mathis, JT, we've all kind of talked about what kind of season it was. It was really solid. But I was looking at, the last 10 years, just the outdoor championships, and we've talked about J. Martin, how he went on a dominant run, and he was just the man, and Osborne was the man. And, the crazy part is this is the most points scored in an outdoor season in the 250 class since Tomac in 2013. And I thought that was pretty cool because you get caught up in the season itself and you're like, God, J-Mart was just the man for those 2 years. Dude, J-Mart barely cracked 500. AC did 519, and I don't think he even won as many as J-Mart did. So was this a dominating summer, or was this just an insanely consistent, smart, top of the leaderboard, but not dominant? When we look back, what are we going to say about this summer?
Yeah, the problem is I don't think it looked as a dominant because that's awesome that you went in, dug through those points. And by the way, it was none other than Zach Osborne that told me you have to score 500 points to win a title. So I looked, dude, Ferrandis scored 499. So Ferrandis, I haven't gone back to look at all the second place finishers.
Yeah, that might be one of the best. That might be one of the best second place runs ever.
Yes. Right. So for Adam, I mean, look, it wasn't dominant to the point where, and maybe a lot of it was because of what happened in Vegas, and he's thrown away titles before, so maybe he had a 35-point lead, and it never felt as secure as 35 points should be, but it didn't feel like, oh, dude, he's got this. It's his year. It's no problem.
That's just him,
and maybe that's just because Dylan was so good, or maybe because we had feared, but it never felt that way.
Yeah, it was weird, too, because it was such a good run, but I never felt like he was just smashing them all. And then I look back at the points, and I was like, man, 519's pretty good. That's better than AP last year, better than Zach, better than Cooper Webb, better than both J-Mart titles. But the one...
I can't believe that. I would have put Zach and the first J-Mart title. For sure, I would have thought they scored more points.
Dude, Zach,
that blows my mind.
Zach 501, J-Mart 500 on his first one.
Wow.
So beat him by almost a moto. Weird, right? I don't remember back what happened. They must have had one bad one or something.
I think a couple other factors. I think they had days. If you notice, Adam, I think he won only one first moto all year. It was kind of like as the day got better, he got better, and when it counted in Moto 2, he'd get the start, he'd make it happen. I don't think he had motos where it was just like, I just remember the beginning of 2014, Jeremy Martin looked like he was in fast forward compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
And it was like, he had like an 8-second lead in like the second lap, and we're like, who is this guy? He's on Star Racing, who has sucked at this point until now. What the hell is going on? He's got an 8-second lead in 2 laps. Or maybe Zach would start 30th and most mow the dudes down. I feel like every ride Adam had was like an A, but they had some rides that were like A pluses.
Yeah.
And that's maybe what sticks in your mind more. And maybe for Adam it was better by not riding like that. Maybe that's why he never crashed really at all.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't going to the wall, but I don't feel like it had these unbelievable signature, holy crap, that was dominant rides. He was just really good all the time.
Yeah, maybe not a great run, just a really, really good one, which, again, for him, that's probably what was needed, because he's been a little bit of that great and then oops kind of guy. I mean, even Eli's last couple runs have been less great, more really, really, really good, which... there's a formula to it without question, and I mean the formula worked from. But the crazy fact is, 2013 Tomac, 552.
What?
552, and then even weirder, Wilson, 538 in 2011. Those are the two best. Those are the two best in the last 10 years. And I don't remember those like that. That's so weird.
Yeah, and again, I think the reason you don't is because I think half of the year, half of the Tomac year, it was Roczen was matching him or even leading him in points, and half of the Wilson year, Baggett was doing it. So it didn't feel dominant from beginning to end. Maybe that's why it doesn't stick out so much. But really, maybe the big point swing comes down to this. If you have one, I mean, these guys are probably all averaging first or second in every moto, right?
Yeah.
So if you have one DNF or 1/15th, you're not going to make those points back up.
Yeah,
so maybe that's what we're looking at.
you'd have to win how many of them to get that back?
Yeah.
So again,
at one point, Adam was averaging like a 1.8 moto finish. Like he's flirting with. So what? 600 is the most you can get, right?
Yeah.
Tomac had 552.
552.
Dude.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the low for you. 2010 Kennard 474. That's the low.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
but that one was weird.
Look,
that one, you know what happened. That one with Purcell, and there was a bunch of issues in that one. For
at the
everybody.
beginning of the year, Kennard wasn't even good.
Yeah.
Like he was. I remember distinctly the first moto of the year. He pulled a whole shot, and I think he finished like 9th. And it was like, oh, Kennard sucks.
Yeah.
You would have never thought at the end of the year he caught fire late, but the first half was nothing special.
Yeah.
So you never know. It's almost like you have to look at the other guy.
Yeah.
Like the second place guy, if he's putting heat on you, it completely changes the way it looks. And Ferrandis, damn, was he tough.
Yeah. And going into next year, I mean, this sport, dude, that's one thing I've learned about this sport is don't make a prediction because you'll always be wrong.
No.
But Ferrandis is earned the right to say he's number 1 going into next year, both indoor and out. And that doesn't mean you never know in this sport, man. And Justin Cooper could just go and mop him up outdoors. There's just so much talent But he's earned the right going into next year. He's top dog on the pecking order, no question. He was awesome this year. Just AC was. I mean, AC should have won that Supercross title too, and I think that we take for granted the fact that this should have been an AC 1 year. But Ferrandis is the guy next year, no question.
Yeah, I guess it all comes down to you're always one injury away from that getting messed up, right? But he's the guy, and I think he knows it, which helps a lot, confidence-wise. I don't think he's worried about anybody else. But, hey, look, you're as big an NFL fan as anybody. I mean, you see how quickly – I was just listening today, hearing people saying how much the Atlanta Falcons could be terrible this year, and I'm like, dude, they blew that Super Bowl, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Or 3 years ago? And I'm sure fans are like, yeah, but we got a squad. We'll be back. You never know.
And that's
if you don't get it when you can get it, you never know.
And it's very similar to football in the way of, too, is people get hot when they get hot, and people have issues when they have issues. And it's just like you never, I mean, who picked Jason Anderson to win Supercross championship? Who picked Cooper Webb? Next year, I mean, you go into the season with a power ranking and throw it out the window halfway through because guys surprise you, guys make changes, and we're going to get to that. I got a couple questions for you because there's definitely some 250 changes, and there's a couple that I'm curious of your thoughts on. But no, it's just don't make bets, don't make crazy dumb predictions like I do because you'll always be wrong. But whatever. But yeah, Ferrandis is the guy going into next year unless things change, which they probably will. But hey, moving to now, again, Montreal Supercross. I talked to Eric Pernard today. Brayton's going, of course. He's the king of the offseason. He's always good. But I'm intrigued by Mookie and Dino because Dino was good last year in Supercross, had moments of like insane goodness, especially in speed. The summer wasn't as good, but that's okay. Mookie's back. Who you got? I mean, honestly, let's have some fun with this. Malcolm, Dino, Brayton? Who's winning Montreal?
Well, Mookie is definitely the most intriguing. Like, look, man, I'm Brayton's guy. No one sprays Brayton with more pump than myself, and you can interpret that any way you want.
Yikes.
But as soon as Mathis told me today that he was going to Montreal, I'm like, dude, Mookie? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, Mookie. Because as much as I love Brayton, as much respect I have for Brayton, this Mookie thing, I don't know. It's like the greatest blank canvas. Now, Tony Alessi is a hype machine. We know this.
Yeah.
The team manager over there. So he brings the hype. But occasionally, you do have to believe the hype.
Right.
And what he told me after Malcolm got hurt, he's like, what was Malcolm doing at Anaheim 1 before he fell? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like,
about to
he
win?
was leading.
Yeah, he was going to win, maybe?
Leading.
Probably going to win.
Yep. And he's like, where was he in Phoenix before he crashed? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, he was right behind Blake Baggett, who won. He's like, he could have won both those races. And I'm like, Tony is crazy. Tony's a hype machine. But those are kind of some facts.
Hey, whatever. Tony got Brayton to win Daytona. So what he could have 99 crazy things in a row. He could just remember that. So he look at there is some
Mookie
legitimacy.
Was freaking impressive, and we didn't get to see. He left us like with this tantalizing like what could have been.
I know.
So
well,
it's so hot right now.
I know, and and again, I talked to someone today who said that they went to the gym the other day. They work out at the same place, and they went in there and said, "Whoa, like he's better in shape, fired up. The motivation didn't leave him." And I think for him too. I think it's a little brother thing. You kind of always living in the shadows of your big brother, but when you kind of finally get the confidence in yourself that like you're the guy now, there's this like different vibe. And I feel like last year he was getting that. It was finally like his time. And even though he got hurt early and was out, that little taste he got, I think was like, I mean, we interviewed him on Race Day Live and he was already like, oh, I'll be back and I'll be back. So I think going in, as long as everything just goes smooth, whatever, he's a guy who everyone's going to kind of forget about because we're going to talk about Tomac, Roxon. But, dude, legitimately, he was going to be one of those guys. I really do believe it, and he could be better. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I also think when you get to an off-season race, you have to look at what everybody's level of prep or even motivation is always varied. Like, I love Dino, but Dino, I think, was just running out the string. Like, I don't think his shoulder was right once he came back outdoors. Yeah. And then I think he went on a vacation. We saw he got engaged and all that. I don't think Dino's coming in here house of fire prep wise.
Well, hold on now.
Summer. He might not be either.
Hold on now. Yeah. Wilson put an Instagram video of him riding Supercross on a hard pack blue groove track, and we all know Montreal is hard pack and blue groove, so he ready.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm not gonna put full faith in anyone. 2 weeks after the national?
I know. I feel bad for these guys because they immediately. I mean, hey, if you're going to Monster Cup, get right out to the test tracks. It'll be similar. But for these guys going and riding in Montreal, it's going to be a little different than the test tracks. It's literally they're all overgrown. They're blue groove. They're watering it just so they can get 5 minutes, and then it's dusty again. So I just saw that video, and of course Dino looked good because it's a GoPro video, and he's Dino. But at the same time. I really do think that Malcolm just being who he is and the prep he's had and just kind of that fire back, I think he's going to be pretty awesome at Montreal. I mean, I'm usually not into that race, and I'm interested mainly because of him. He's my personal draw.
Yeah, I think if you're Wilson or Brayton or anybody else, and then you have the points collecting Canadian guys there, their motivation is obvious. But I feel like most of the off-season guys, you're like, Montreal's cool, I'll make some money, whatever happens, happens. But you got to feel like if you're Malcolm, you're like, no, man, this is like pent up since the second week of January.
Yeah, he's been mad since January 10th. So it's probably like, breathing fire. And they've been prepping, already doing but that's the one thing too. It's a concern sometimes with these guys in the off season. They get too fired up too early, and then they peak early. That's why I always think Brayton's program's so good. Like Brayton ain't gonna care about Montreal other than just going out there and laying down the foundation for his season. But hopefully Malcolm doesn't just get too antsy too quick because it don't start for we still got a long ways to go till we get there. And I could see him being pent up, but at the same time, don't get too wild. Like, come on, we need you. Don't do something silly in the offseason. We need you next year.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. I want to see this so bad. And there was a scare actually before Supercross. I think it was in Italy where he crashed, and then, immediately a bunch of the Euros reported that he had broken femur. That's
right.
And then I called Brayton, which I'll use any excuse to do that. And he's like, no, he's good. He's not going to race tonight, but it's not a broken femur. So, but just those few hours of like, damn, that sucks so bad that Mookie's going to be out. Like, I don't want to go through this again.
Right. And
nobody does.
We've been pretty lucky because the 450 class has stacked up so heavy. I mean, think about how good last year was. It was one of the best years we've seen. And don't forget, we had like no Anderson, we had no Mookie, who was emerging, and
in there,
we had no Adam Cincerello, which he's in there now. That 450 class it's getting filthier every single year, and I don't know how there's room for it. I mean, it's crazy how at the end of the year it does still get eaten up a little bit, but God, going in, I mean, you're talking every year, add another guy or two, and good ones. And it's a gift right now. It's a good time because you just got this generation that's right in their peak, but then this young pack that keeps pushing up in, and nobody's really going out. I mean, Chad won't go away. Brayton won't go away. I mean, I know we lost Millsaps a couple years ago. We're going to lose Seeley. So you are losing, but it's being filled with even more enticing individuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that the Villapoto and Dungey retired early thing gets a lot of hype, and I'm like, you cannot point all these things. You can't use them as evidence of anything.
Right.
They're like, oh, see, this proves the training's too hard or the season's too long or the tracks or the bikes or something. And I'm like, to me, all that proves is if you're dealing with the unbelievable weight and pressure of winning back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back Supercross titles, that's something that no one else besides those two have had to deal with, and that sucked it out of them.
Yeah.
But everybody else pretty much sticks around. Well, and Millsaps, he had a gnarly concussion, but otherwise he was going to race that year.
Millsaps
I don't think these other things are killing people like
no, and even Pike. Like Pike right now is still like hoping that something works out so he can keep this thing. I mean, those guys aren't leaving as much. No, he doesn't want to
retire.
No, but Villapoto and Dungey, without question, I mean, they had won over and over and over, and eventually you get to the point where you're like, oh, I mean, I've accomplished everything multiple times, and I'm really worn out, and I'm rich, and I don't know how much more this is worth it. I'm freaking rich. Like, I'm done with this, you know?
And you're going to get beat one of these years.
Yeah, you're gonna end up being Jimmy Johnson. I just saw he didn't make the playoffs, and it's like, that's crazy. Yeah. He was the baddest. I mean, he's like, I mean, one of the winningest guys of all time. And then, you know, and it's hard for guys sometimes, but then you got a Villapoto and Dungey go, maybe I don't want to get chewed up there at the end. I really do feel like Villapoto, part of the reason he left was Roxon was coming. He was already working with him a little bit and probably knew, like, dude, this is just going to get worse. It's going to get harder.
Yeah.
I got Dungey covered, but there's another pack coming. Tomac, Roxon. maybe I don't want to deal with them. Maybe I'm over it.
Yeah, like they could have cashed some more paychecks and become third or fifth place guys, but they weren't going to do it.
They weren't built for it.
So the point is, I think people think like that we're back to this trend of guys retiring early. I'm like, nope, that's just 2 guys. And coincidentally, guys that combined for 8 straight Supercross titles. Everybody else, unless there's a gnarly injury, is more than happy to stick around. So, yeah, that is crazy when you just started running through some of the names. And by the way, I know that 450s are dangerous, but this season was the best we've seen in ages for lack of injuries.
Well,
yes, we did lose Anderson, but that
was a weird practice crash. I mean, you saw the video. That was weird. That wasn't even a track issue, a 450. That was, dude, this sport is freaking dangerous. Like, sometimes it's just going to happen, like really bad luck.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and then sometimes we get a whole bunch of injuries, and it's because of there's too many variables to ever pin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, man. If you want to call out the variables, then you have to be like, well, is this happening consistently? Because if we know for a fact it's the track designs or the bikes, then explain why there were way more injuries in 18 than there were in 19.
Right.
None of that changed. None of it changed.
No.
One year we had a lot. Next year we didn't.
Yeah.
So who knows?
And the competition was even deeper this year, which means usually guys ride even more over their head, or at least more at that elite level, and then what? That's a separate conversation.
I mean, you had Roxon and Tomac and Marv. You know, they didn't miss any races at all.
Right.
You know, that was legit. Yeah.
Hey, so here's a big question for you. A lot of team changes in the 250 class. A lot of movement. I mean, to me, the big one obviously is the TLD guys got. I mean, they remind. I hate to say this. I don't want to compare. TK, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but they look a little Miami Dolphinish, if you know what I mean. They sold off everything and are just going for a full reset, and I kind of understand why. I think they're trying to. I mean, at least in my opinion, this might come across a little harsh, and hopefully they prove me wrong. But if you're any of the teams out there, if you don't have Ferrandis, Faulkner, or Sexton, your odds of winning a championship are going to be pretty tough. Those 3 are pretty gnarly indoors. So if you're TLD, what's the point in spending a lot of money and going and chasing something that you maybe don't believe you can get? You've already had some guys, they've been close a couple times, but it's almost getting worse every year. So I understand the reset, but my question for you is, Jordan Smith to Pro Circuit, Shane McElrath to Star Yamaha, which one of these two, I mean, who does better? I mean, who goes to greener pastures and actually does better, or do they end up with lateral results?
They've always been pretty closely matched, but if I got to pick one here, I'm going to say McElrath to Star. I know that Cianciarulo did just win the 250 outdoor title, but those Yamahas and what Star Racing has done with multiple riders, and honestly, some riders, it's almost, they're picking dudes up off the scrap heap and getting awesome results out of people. So when you see across the board amazing results from, I mean, I'm talking there's probably been 7, 8, or 9 riders over a 5-year span. I just got to put a lot of faith in that. I mean, it's crazy to say that you're not putting Pro Circuit at the very number one top spot. And I've always believed that McElrath is really good. Like, I think the last 2 years, I think I might even picked him as my favorite in the West.
I think I did
Maybe
too.
coulda, shoulda, woulda. But I feel like he has the talent, he has the tools, and maybe this little, fresh start, whatever you want to call it, on one of the better teams. I would not be surprised if he's House of Fire this year.
How wild is Star Yamaha? Look, we don't talk about this enough because we get caught up in the riders, but let's talk about the teams themselves. Dude, they have literally done so much right lately. I mean, and I hate to use Mitchell Harrison and make, I don't want to, I don't want to bring it to light in a negative, but let's just say that was a miss. Other than that, where have they missed? I mean, J-Mart, Cooper Webb, Aaron Plessinger. Now they got Ferrandis, who they grabbed him. They didn't bring him up from the time he was 10. Right. Colt Nichols grabbed him when it was the right time. Justin Cooper grabbed him literally I know you and Steve always argue, which you're right, by the way, and he's so wrong, but grabbed him at the right time and replaced him with a guy who was supposed to be their guy. And now let's go grab Shane. I mean, dude, it's Wild West for Bobby Reagan, and he is stacking all the right guys at the right time, year and year now. And I know the bike's good. The bike's got to get credit. But, dude, how about talent acquisition? They always grab the right guy at the right time, every time.
I think it goes both ways. with this amateur deal and these gnarly parents and these deals being signed early, the parents literally just look at the 250 class, whatever year their kid's getting signed as an amateur, and they just pick what team they think has the fastest bike, and that's the team they want to go to.
Right.
So they got very lucky that they managed to get Cooper Webb and Jeremy Martin, who were great talents, but it just for oddball reasons they didn't have rides.
Right, and they were coming from somewhere else too. They were not Yamaha guys from the 85s into the Super Minis into the B. They were developing somewhere else. Someone else paid for their development, and Star Yamaha said thank you.
Yeah, and both those guys said they're like, I was in a weird situation where I had nowhere to go. Star Racing really, Cooper just did a podcast with Zach Osborne, and he's like, they were like a borderline top 10 team, but I had no other option. And who would have known that 2 years later, Yamaha's going to come out with this new 250F that's unreal, and they would happen to get this talent, and they'd happen to get this bike at the same time. But now it's easy. Now, if you've got the hotshot 13-year-old, if Bobby Regan's calling, you're picking up the phone.
Right.
And whatever other team, they better make you a hell of an offer. It's really hard to resist.
Right. Well, like that kid, Jarrett Fry, the one they just grabbed from Suzuki. Same thing. And
I think if you're Fry, you're like, Suzuki 250 program? Star Yamaha 250 program.
No, I mean, yeah, and it's sticky business a little bit, and I know some of the details on that, and it's a little iffy. But at the same time, what are you supposed to do if your kid is 16, 17 years old, and Bobby Regan calls you, or Will Hahn, or whatever? You're like, anything, no matter. Right. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And it's like, I guess they have
a cycle. It's a cycle because there was a time where they always said that Mitch Payton could pay everybody way less because you just had to be on his team.
Yep.
And you were going to lose if you were racing up against him.
Yep.
So it's all a cycle, and right now they're just on it right now. And who knows? It could be Suzuki somewhere down the road, but right now it's Star Yamaha.
Right.
I think that's where people in general want to be.
What about Jordan Smith? I mean, again, Faulkner doesn't loop himself out of it in the East, and AC doesn't fall in Vegas. Then PC's got himself 2 titles and an out. I mean, they would have swept the whole year. So for Jordan Smith, though, this is a guy who's been really, really close too. Is this the missing piece, or is Jordan missing just enough pieces to not have what those... I feel like if it just all clicked, he could be one of them, but I feel like I've been saying the same thing now for a few years, if it just clicked. You know what I mean? I don't know if the bike has necessarily been the missing piece.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't know. And the 250 class, because it's a little more... As I always say, it's a little more up for grabs because if you're really, really good, you leave the class.
Right.
Unfortunately, in the 450 division, until Eli Tomac decides to retire, you're going to have to race him.
Right.
But the 250 class always feels a little more up for grabs. So you get these Jordan Smith type guys where you're like, if it just clicks, it's going to happen. His old buddy RJ Hampshire is kind of the same thing, right? Like any one of these weeks or any one of these years, it could come together, and I don't think anyone would be shocked.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're just talking about a pattern, and those guys all have a pattern, and they all came out of the same little generation. They're look at their ages, look at the year they came out. They're all in this little pack where they're really good, but it seems like the elite seems to have their number all the time, and then the next generation of elite, like Chase Sexton, Justin Cooper, it's like they're always behind the guys in front of them. They can't get it done in their prime year, and then a couple young guys will pop up and beat them to it, and now they're Marty in it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard to say because it could happen if all the pieces fall into place. But we've seen for other riders of similar skill or talent through the years, it just not fall into play. It just never. Every year was going to be the year, and it didn't work out. So I don't know. And one thing I was always impressed with Smith was, to me, he used to be fast and crash guy, and I think he really fixed that and got much better on the consistent side.
Yeah.
This year was a wash because he did get hurt, but the other 2 years I thought he played the consistent card pretty well. But in
way
the end,
better.
He didn't get those titles. And, hey, is this not right back to the analogy we're saying? I mean, he kind of came out of nowhere, started winning races, coulda, shoulda, woulda won the title in Vegas 2 years ago, and it'd be easy right then to be like, that sucks, but... he's going to get his. It's going to happen.
I mean, you would have thought that because that one that he was going to get, it should have been Joey's or it should have been Zach's, which it ended up being. But Jordan almost snuck one on everybody, and now here we are 2 years later. I mean, going into 3 years later, and a little bit of issue here, a little bit of an issue there. Now switching teams, is that the missing link? Or is just those little issues enough to where someone sneaks in and gets past, like Dylan. I mean, Dylan came in. Dylan wasn't around that. Well, I think, was he a rookie that year? The first Jordan year? I think he might have been a rookie.
I think that was the first Dylan year. He wasn't that good.
No, he was squirrely and wild and aggressive, and he was. Yeah. He had a point to prove, and he wasn't ready to prove it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was pretty aggro.
But
He's pissing off a lot of people.
I look at that generation: the McElrath, Smith, Hampshire, and then you know the next wave kind of sneaks in there, and I mean, dude, before we know it, Faulkner's going to be gone, Sexton's going to be gone, and it's weird how that class is so weird, and you know I'm anxious to see if those guys can now put it together and let these young kids kind of screw themselves out of it, or these ones clean it. Like, does Austin clean it up, and does Cooper get a little better, and does Sexton back it up? You know what I mean? That class is interesting too, and it all comes down to where they line up, east or west, and that's my big intrigue. Who's going to dodge Faulkner, or do you go? I'm sorry, not Faulkner, but Ferrandis. Does Faulkner go right at him, or does Faulkner dodge him? Does Sexton dodge both? Like, who's going to end up where of those three? I mean, God, couldn't they just accidentally line up together? You know what I mean? How good would that be if they all three oopsed and landed on the same coast?
Yeah, that is a collision course. Although, I do say, okay, Faulkner blew it, man. He was the best guy in the East. He could have, should have, would have won the title. He had a big points lead. Faulkner's progression has been almost perfect. It was really good first year, then winning races second year, then winning the title the third year. He just didn't do it. To me, I'm like, he's on the standard, natural, perfect progression. I feel like year 4 Faulkner, I would be very scared. I know that Ferrandis has just had a great year and has just done big things. But I feel like there's potential that Faulkner is going to make these huge jumps each year, because he's already done that. Like, every year he's 20% better.
If that 20% better is a little bit more patience, they're in big trouble. And maybe, I don't know, maybe being engaged or married or whatever is about to happen with him, maybe that's the key. He needs to mellow. I don't know. But
well, he told me, he's like, I'm not trying to be faster than practice ever again. That was a huge, huge mistake. And I don't know how it wasn't obvious, because we were all watching it, and it was obvious.
We were talking about it every week. Maybe I don't know, maybe listen to Race Day Live once in a while. We were literally warning you every week to stop doing that. When Jim Hawley speaks, you listen. He was saying to calm down. I don't know how he didn't
get the memo, but he has said he's gotten it now. Knee surgery, that definitely struck a chord.
Now, how about Sexton? I mean, I know we're way early, but I just can't help it because I'm just like a little child when it comes to this. But is Sexton, does he take the next leap and his run is more legitimate? Because remember, he wasn't really, I would say the words deserving there until the very end. He was kind of getting bullied around a little bit, and then all of a sudden it got a little better, and then Austin went out and he got it. And I don't want to take it away from him. That's not fair. He did what he needed to win the title, because when you win, you won. But at the same time, he needs a big step, I think, in raw speed to match Faulkner and Ferrandis next year. Straight up, he needs a little more speed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, we had, 6 races of him and Faulkner together. He was really good, but Faulkner did beat him in those races. So, as of right now, it would be a little weird, I think, to just assume he's going to leapfrog him. But I think he was kind of on that natural progression, too. Like, I don't think this was the year that he was expected to win the title. It's just, well, the results I happened to get got me enough points to get it.
Yeah.
So I think, he's going to make that leap, too. But those guys were at least a step ahead of him now. We'll see. And it was even outdoors, same thing. He rode really well, but he was couldn't quite get Cianciarulo or Ferrandis at the end of any of those motos. He'd be right there, but just a hair off.
Yeah. Last question for you. Monster Cup, 2-direction track. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I hope you've been telling people this. It's not like dangerous level crazy here.
It's Monster Cup.
Like, it's just cool.
It's Monster Cup, and they always build the track for the All-Star class and the minis, and so they're not going to have triples backwards. If you notice, go back in Monster Cup, I don't even think they have triples. It's always rhythm sections, a big double or something, rollers, sand whoops. It's not your traditional Supercross. So I've had some people who are like, dude, they're trying to kill people. It's like,
no,
they're not going to do that. The track is going to be designed in a way that makes things weird, not dangerous. I mean, I talked to Ricky about it. It's meant to be weird. And that's just to challenge these guys and make everybody go, let's see who can turn it around. My big concern, though, Weege, I'm going to tell you right now, I've said it before. We had Ryan Villapoto and Ryan Dungey on the Mount Rushmore who couldn't even remember to hit a joker lane, and now we're going to ask these guys to go backwards. Are we? Is this too much faith in our dirt bikers right now?
That's a fair point, because one of the issues is, right, there's a start inside the stadium, and one time they'd make a left and one time they make a right. You sure better hope that everybody remembers which one they're doing at which
they need to,
time.
hey, before the gate drops, like, go to each guy, hey, you do know what we're doing now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, shake your head, yes.
Right.
Okay, now do it again. You turn right this time. I mean, honestly, like I said, I feel bad for Villapoto and Dungey poking fun, but, I mean, they didn't even hit the joker lane.
That was a valuable lesson in the instincts and the lack of,
adjustability,
not actual thought when you're riding. You're not thinking about these things; they're just happening. So I hope they don't go to instinct on the first, 10 seconds.
Or lack of communication from your mechanic, like on the pit board. Joker lane.
I don't remember with Villapoto, but Carlos said he wrote it on there every single freaking lap.
Well,
so good luck.
Carlos probably after the race is like, well, what's the point of ever writing anything ever again? I just proved the fact that my guy does not look at the board.
Right, there's your quiz. There's your pop quiz.
Now, I haven't heard yet because I probably should have reached out, but I don't know how practice is going to go. I mean, obviously they're going to have to do something. They have limited time. They don't have all day, so are we going one way for one practice, one way the other? I mean, because they're not going to just go drop the flag and go, hey, figure it out. They're going to get time on it. How are they going to decide who your fastest time? I mean, there's some questions that aren't answered yet. I'm kind of curious.
It's out there. Shout out to our buddy Mike Mookie. He told me about it. He even sent me kind of like a rudimentary, like, this is what we're thinking the practice schedule will look like. I mean, it's probably 99% of what it is.
Right.
So the good thing is you got to remember what really changes it is there's two different starts.
Yeah, that helps them out.
Put it in the other direction. But you really only need to ride the track two ways. You ride it forward, you ride it backwards. So I think they're going to give them a practice start on each gate, but more importantly, they're going to run each direction for each practice. So I guess you could say there's a little less practice in each direction.
Yeah.
You're cutting it in half. But I don't think it's an issue only because, look, man, we've seen these races when they're muddy and they cancel all but one practice and they ride 2 laps and they have it all dialed.
Right.
I don't think that's going to be a big problem. And Mookie also told me that there is, as you mentioned, even the shape of the jumps and transitions. He said they call them hot dog jumps. They're shaped more like a hot dog where they're more of a gradual curve. So Monster Cup jumps aren't as gnarly, as you said, because of amateur futures all-stars and super mini. So that helps. I think the only obstacle that's actually going to look weird is the finish line. To have a finish line jumpable both ways is... I mean, think of how a finish line's built. It's like a steep ramp and then like a roller landing.
It's going to have to be like a perfect takeoff both ways and then just nice smooth rollers that you come out of the corner to where you can't bubba it and try to jump it backwards or something stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to have to be very forgiving.
Yes, both ways, which is weird. But I think the really only thing is, it's like they're looking to make it weird. As in, like, maybe someone will take a few laps to get into their flow, and that'll make the racing interesting. It's not like maybe someone will kill themselves by not being able to do one of the jumps. Yeah. I do like it. As always, in general, whatever you think of each individual gimmick, it is awesome that we have a race
to
that
try
has
things.
Gimmicks.
Yeah,
whatever they are. And the 3 main event format, lo and behold, it snuck its way in. So there's even
so what are you saying?
Now.
Are you saying we're going to have reversible tracks here someday soon?
Well, maybe not that, but the point is, for the first time, we actually saw. At first, it was like they're experimenting, but if you're experimenting without any plans to ever implement anything, what does an experiment mean?
Right.
But now, because they implemented that one thing. Now everything you see, who knows, could be on the table. And I'd say a 3 main format. That's a pretty big change,
right?
And they got it done. So, ramming that through Congress isn't easy. It's a lot of gridlock, but they got it done. So I don't think backwards tracks, but whatever else you see at Monster Cup, it could potentially all be up for grabs.
Yeah, I like it. When I first saw that it was going both ways, first thing I did was text Mookie and I said, which way are they going for futures on Sunday and Monday? Because my little guy,
here we go.
He's got at Evan's first races here at Glendale, he hole shot and turned and went backwards on the track because he didn't know which way it went from the start. So I already have
really
some issues.
Happened.
I got a little Villapoto Dungy in my family who has issues with track design. So my first concern was, which way are they going? Because I need to know, because I got to train my kid, because I don't need him being confused. He already had a little issue with it.
Well, the good thing is, and the math worked in their favor, for the Saturday night races, they only run 2 mains of Supercross Futures and Super Mini.
So they'll go regular way.
They don't do the backwards. There's only one backwards race, and that's only the top guys. So maybe that'll make it that much easier. For the amateur race, I don't know, dude. Good luck. You're doing God's work there, being a mini dad.
Yep, believe
I don't even know. It doesn't even honestly make sense to me how you're doing it, because you're on the road a lot on weekends when races are taking place.
I saw your Instagram today. You're on your way. Yeah,
but when he's your age, I'm gonna be in the same dilemma you are. Oh, wait, there's a race, but I have to leave.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're doing.
I saw you today. Don't act like you're not getting started, Tony.
What am I gonna do? Like, what do I do when? Like,
hey, what do I do?
30-some weekends.
What do I do when my 6-year-old daughter is crying to me every day because she's not racing yet? That's what my 6-year-old daughter's saying, and I'm like, wow. You still have training wheels on your bicycle. Like, calm down. You're.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, and my son.
I'm serious. Are you sending him? Is Evan going to the track with his mom without you on Saturdays?
Oh, hell no. No.
So somehow you've got to be there when all this is going down, even though you've got a weekend gig.
Oh, yeah. On those days, he rides on Sunday, and I fly home and meet him at the track. He don't ride Saturday. He don't ride without me.
Okay, so you've just got to scramble, get home as quick as you can, and get as much out of Sunday as you can.
Yeah, Mom's already, she's had her shot. She failed. So she couldn't start the bike. And called me one day and had to FaceTime me to try to get the bike started and had to go home. And so she lost her shot. That was her shot. She failed.
Okay. I think, my wife probably would self-sabotage that one. So you have to wonder. You have to wonder.
Yeah, I think, maybe that's a good idea.
Can't go ride today, huh? I can't start it. Oh, well.
No, she went out there, though. She tried, but it was close to home. But anyways. Hey, am I going to see you at Monster Cup?
No, probably not. You would be shocked to know that one of the easiest races to find someone from the racetrack staff to cover is one in Vegas. Shockingly.
That's weird.
There is no shortage of candidates, and I've gone to plenty of races in Vegas, so someone else can have it. I'm good.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll see you.
I do enjoy it. You've been there, obviously. It's a little different atmosphere. It is more relaxed and laid back than a regular Supercross, I feel.
Yeah, it's the pressure's off. It's a fun vibe. It's fun, and everyone's partying, and there's no intensity, and everyone's just. I got all my buddies at home that are all booked their stuff. They're all good to go. And then, of course, with the future stuff this year, a lot of the local kids that race that made it, they're all. They weren't dumb about putting that race where it is. They knew how to put some life into it. You know what I'm saying? Backwards track, futures finals. Very smart move. And again, it is a different vibe. So yeah, I guess I won't see you there. So I guess Anaheim, huh, bro?
You never know. I got a lot going on. I would be shocked, honestly, if I don't see you until January. Who knows, man?
I'm going to Monster Cup, and that's it. So I don't know where I'm going to see you at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I feel. I'm like, I'm going to do as little in the off-season of traveling as I can so I can stay married. But I don't know. As our good buddy Ralph Shaheen likes to say, if you're paying, I'm saying.
That's right. That is right. That was one of the best lines I've ever heard in my entire life.
It is.
He would literally call pig racing, and he would do it with the same enthusiasm. He would, hey, drop the gate. Drop the gate.
That's it. So, what phone call am I going to get between now and Anaheim 1? Who knows? Maybe I'll end up doing something out in NorCal and we'll be hanging out.
All right. Well, let me know if you do. Otherwise, good chatting with you, and enjoy your off season for a week.
Main event moto.
I hate to say it, but our NorCal Motoheads are pretty spoiled. Why? Well, where do they ride, Joe?
Riverfront, East Street, and Prairie City. And don't ask me who takes care of them trackside and during the week, because it's EMT Racing.
And who takes care of them trackside during the week, Joe?
Really, man? I literally just said EMT Racing. You didn't hear me?
That's right. If you're from Northern California and support Main Event Moto, then spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks, buy your bikes and parts from Modesto Honda Cowie KTM, and make sure EMT Racing takes care of your trackside and service needs.
Spin your laps. at Rep Racing Tracks. I see what you did there. I like that.
If you're from Northern California and you're a true Motohead, then you better get your bike from Honda, Kawasaki, KTM of Modesto. They also got betas, ATVs, and side-by-sides. And if you don't know how to use Google Maps, well then here, I'll help you out. Visit them off of Carpenter Road in Modesto and see their track support parts trailer at all California Central Valley races. Visit www.hkmodesto.com to apply for the rider team, store deals, and upcoming events. And check them out on Instagram at Honda_Cowie_KTM.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
And we are back. Good talk with Weege.
Oh, yeah.
Busy man. But surprisingly, like he said, he wants to be busy. He tries to find things. I don't want to do anything when the season's done. Like, literally, for me, the month of May is like rehab.
I love when you guys talk about behind the scenes in the booth, and he was like, yeah, my watch, and I was having to,
Well, because remember early in the year, there was all that weird stuff.
Beeping noise and clicking noise or whatever.
Yeah. And the funny part is I know the crew. It's the same crew. And everybody, dude, the ding-dongs out there that go, man, the outdoor production is just so much better. They need to use those guys in It's the same people. It's all the exact same. It's just different network and MAV TVs involved. That's on the output side of things. That's not even in the input side. You know what I mean? I mean, you're a producer. You know how it goes, the input-output side.
Mm-hmm.
MAV TV, NBC app, NBC, that's outside. That's different issues.
Right.
The inside people are all the exact same. And it's like, when the silly stuff happens and I see people freak online, I just laugh because it's like, you guys just, it's the same people. But anyways, good talk with Weege. Monster Cup will be cool. The backwards track thing, intriguing. Again, I'm a little suspect. I even told Ricky Carmichael, I said, Ricky, you do realize we got a couple riders who they can't even figure out the one extra lane and you want them to go backwards? You sure that's okay? And you know what he said? You know what Ricky said? Well, you're the track guy. You'll be the one explaining it on TV. And I said, yeah, that's right. Hey, wipe. See, on the main show, I say ass.
Woo.
Oh. Yeah.
Big dog.
Big dog. All right, LQs, let's go. I have not looked at these. Usually I kind of scroll through really fast just to see. Dude, I have no clue, so this is all on you. Ask good ones.
Right, buddy,
and we'll go pretty fast, too, because we got to record an episode after this. So let's rock and roll.
Big James got the whole shot at James Burris. So did AC sign a 1-year or 3-year deal?
I heard both, but most recently from a source who says it's confirmed, a.k.a. Cooksey. If you're listening, I saw your Instagram. It says it's 1 year. In fact, I did a little digging on that, and from what I understand, he didn't actually sign a 1-year deal. He already had a 1-year deal attached to his contract with Kawasaki. So he just made the decision, because he had the option, to move it to the 450 class. So I think this is his same deal. It's just he decided to make the move up, which I'm strategically, I don't know how I feel about that, because Roxon's locked in. So Honda's got their big money there. Cowie's got big money invested in Eli. KTM's got their big money invested in Marvin and Cooper. Anderson's there. Like, I don't know where else he's going to go if he wants the big money payday. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of a gamble. Does he maybe go to Yamaha? Does he go to JGR? I don't see him chasing money to go somewhere where I don't think he can be good. You know what I mean? I don't see him choosing money over performance.
Right.
So maybe he's just like, look, I'm going to ride this contract out. I'm going to go 450. I'm going to crush it. And then one of these people are going to pay.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understand, it is a 1-year continuation of his deal. But I saw a picture today on Instagram. I think he's staying with Fox. I think Alpine Star offered him a big deal, but why look exactly like Eli? So he's going to be a Fox Cowie rider like he was on the 250, but he'll have freedom of gear. Like, he gets to probably wear other stuff than the team. And dude, honestly, Joe, he looked pretty sick. Just Fox Cowie. I mean, he looks like JS7 back when Stewart was Fox Cowie. I mean, I don't know. Fox Cowie is got there's history behind that look. Carmichael was Fox Cowie. Stewart was Fox Cowie for a while. Now Adam's going to be Fox Cowie. It's going to be a cool look. I think he's going to look rad. So, all right, next one.
At Stillman441, DB, who's on your Mount Rushmore of Moto wives or girlfriends?
Oh, man, that sucks. Because,
It's more of a Hobo Nick question.
Yeah, Hobo's not here, or Vincent, even though Vincent wouldn't know. He doesn't even know the riders. I'm not going to answer the hot question because I can't think about it. I will tell you the coolest. Wyndham's wife, Dottie. She was the absolute best. When I rode for Geico, she would every day after practice, Daniel, can I make you a turkey sandwich? And the first time I was like, sure, but I'm picky about those because, people put weird stuff on it, whatever. She made me the perfect turkey sandwich, and every week, right after practice, I had my sandwich and my chips waiting for me. So the coolest, without question, Kevin Wyndham's wife, Dottie. All right, next one.
At Cody Seiler, will Jason Anderson pass a drug test at Moto MX Donations after his time in Amsterdam?
Yes, he will.
Of course he will.
Yeah, he ain't toying with that.
They have Wizinators. It's fake pee all day long.
He's fine.
Our Camp 99 is K-Rex's time to shine this Supercross season. He's been looking so good lately.
I don't know, man. Kenny and Eli, they have what it takes, but they also have shown that they're missing the most important piece, at least in Supercross, which is the mental strength to go 17. So I would like to say yes, and I earlier in the year, I said he's going to win both titles, and I still kind of feel like I might stick with that. We'll see how it looks in December when we start getting a little bit closer, but he definitely has all the pieces. There's one piece, though, that he's never had indoors, and it's the most important one. It's mental strength. That's why Jason Anderson and Cooper Webb are your two most recent champions, because they might not be as fast, they might not be as raw, but they have proven to be mentally stronger. They've copied the Dungey playbook, and until Roxon and Eli adapt that, I'm suspect, but man, the potential is all there, and yeah, he very well could. Next one.
The homie Bedtime Savage 69. When will one of these dinguses take the permanent number 69?
Probably next year Faulkner maybe takes it. I don't know. He seems like he might. I don't know. Actually, Faulkner, he'd probably just take his chick's birthday or something. I don't know. That's cheap shot, but you know what I'm saying. He's so in love, dude. He's like in that puppy love stage where it's like,
wow,
he's going to get her name tattooed like on his heart. He probably already did. In fact, you know what?
I hope he did.
In fact, I feel like I may have heard that he did something like that.
Oh, I hope so.
You know what I mean? Like whatever her birthday is. Like if her birthday is like March 18th,
yeah,
watch him take permanent 318. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He just seems in that stage where he would do anything for his lady. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Austin. I don't know. It seems like it's possible. All right, next one.
M. Gomes 911. Who wins Red Bull straight rhythm between Bowers and Pastrana?
Oh, that's pretty good because there's always like two gnarly whoop sections. Bowers is good in whoops, but Pastrana is like, oh man, I kind of think Bowers will do it just because everyone wants to go Pastrana because he's just going to be on the RMzilla.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Travis, he's just a freak. You know what I mean? But I kind of feel like Bowers just kind of quietly upsets him. Kind of how Stank Dog beat Villapoto. It was all Villapoto and Ronnie Mack, and then Stank Dog just kind of like got it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Bowers will get him. So I'll lean my best bud, Tyler Bowers.
731 Chopper. I'm 5'8", 145 pounds, intermediate rider. Never ridden a 450, but thinking about getting a new bike.
Nope. Next one.
Should I go 250 or 450?
250. 450 is... I don't want to go there. It's the stupidest bike ever. If you're a vet, the 450 is too much for you. If you're a beginner, novice, or intermediate, the 450 is too much for you. The 450 is too much for most pros. The 450 is it's just, I don't know. They're not even fun. I have a Stap-on Dan. Stap-on Dan right now has a 450, and he is like, bro, should I get a 250? The 450 is I'm just not having any fun. It's just too gnarly. Yes, get a 250. You can ride it, have more fun. You're on the rev limiter more. Like 450, all you got to do is bog around and get arm pump. So get a 250.
Hanson 34513. Did Vincent actually show up for Evan's race like he said he would? Or is he still worst uncle ever?
Worst uncle ever. No showed.
Damn.
Yeah. He actually texted me, though, during it. How's it going?
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. Well, He told me I messed up and said it was Friday night, which it wasn't. Little Okie was Friday night. He knew Riverfront was Saturday, but let's just say he conveniently messed up and then texted me Saturday during, just wanting to check in. And I'm like, dude, this isn't going to cut it. Like, Evan knows you're not here. Like, whatever. Maybe that's why Evan rode. So he was so pissed that he just rode twice as hard because he was so mad at Uncle Vincent. All right, next one.
Whatever fuels you.
Yeah.
At Evan_Ledesma. Does Cooper Webb and AC92 restart the beef this year? #CrackKills.
I hope so. I hope they all have beef with each other, all of them. I hope Tomac and Cincerello get in a fight in their semi-truck. I hope Cooper Webb and Mooskin fight in their semi-truck. And then Faulkner and Sexton. I hope so. I hope there's more drama. I'm childish like that. Next one.
Boxinator 44. What's more likely? Producer Joe Gallo going to a Supercross, or we have another 4 years of the Trump train? I mean, I plan on going to A1, so...
There you go.
And Oakland.
There you go. Will you stay and actually watch the racing, or are you just going to go in the pits to say you went and then leave?
So... That was your fault in Oakland. That was your fault in Oakland. But in A1, I go to watch the race.
Why don't you go and travel? Oh, and you don't. We already had a travel issue this summer. I know why you don't travel. No, Joe's going to go. And as far as Trump goes...
That issue traveling was an anomaly. That was an adventure for us both. That was Bill and Ted's... That was Joe and Daniel's excellent adventure.
It was the worst trip I ever went on in my life.
It can't be the worst. You've traveled so much in your life. That can't be the worst. Nothing bad really happened. We were just in a bunch of...
I mean, I got West Nile virus in Mexico once, so I guess
that's a lot worse.
Yeah,
that was a lot worse.
At the same time, it was a bad trip. But no, Joe's gonna go. He's gonna go. But I wish you would go with me somewhere. I wish you would.
I know,
pick
but
a
we
city
plan
and
it
go.
everywhere. I've said Atlanta, Daytona. I'll even take some of the northern races where it's cold. I don't care.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out, but I doubt it. Anyways, next one.
Monty 248. According to local Glen Helen hero Marshall Bennett, lowering the rear and stiffening the front will make him turn better. Thoughts on the new movie?
Yeah, last week on the Main Show, we did cover it thoroughly, and I'll give you a one-sentence summary. It was so god-awful that I was sick for 3 days in pure disgust after watching that movie.
I liked it.
I know you did. You're weird and whatever. It was at the highest level of obnoxiously stupid. Next one.
Hayden_Ferguson_327. Will Suzuki ever become dominant in the moto industry again?
Nope. Next one. Harsh answer, but nope. Just information that I heard today. Just y'all find out soon. All right, next one.
Dale Hornsby 25. Where are the Eagle Grit coupon codes? Love the show, guys.
Unfortunately, I don't want to give the credit to Pulp MX when the orders come through, but that's the code we have going right now. So if you use Pulp MX, you get 25% off on eaglegrit.com. It's a deal I set up with Steve, and I don't have anything else set up right now. So if you order, it's going to look like it came from him. It's going to probably mess our numbers up, and it'll look like he's done better than he has, but whatever. If you want it, 25% off, go to eaglegrit.com, which, by the way, I'll give you a little information on Eagle Grit Joe. We just finalized the blend and ingredients, and I mean, we literally everything. We finalized today our new silicone spray that's coming out. So for those of you out there that like a little shine on your bike and like a little nice smell, it's coming, and it is a straight game changer. Y'all see soon. And we'll do something cool promotion-wise when that comes out to get it in everyone's hands, because I'm telling you right now, like we nailed it. And it took about 6 months, but the industry's in trouble. All right, next one.
The real_Ponder 138. What's the status on Vince's favorite rider's knee? No, not his weenie, his actual knee.
Who?
Vince's favorite rider has got a knee problem?
No. Who's Vincent's favorite rider? Malcolm. He's fine. Do you have another favorite?
I don't know. Maybe is somebody out there with a knee problem right now? Is he being sarcastic? Maybe not. Maybe not actually Vincent's real favorite rider, but he's being sarcastic about it.
Tomac? Who else does he hate? Savachi? Oh, probably Mooskin. Did Mooskin hurt his knee at the Ironman? I never heard what he actually physically hurt, other than getting carried off by his lady. But
oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I have no answer to that one. Sorry.
Cody975 Piscatelli.
What's up, Cody? How was that Jamal shot, bro?
It's pretty good.
He tagged it.
Yeah.
He tagged me in it last weekend.
I seen that with my own 2 eyes.
By the way, Joe, how was the Jamal shot? When Joe and I went and watched Bennett's War, we lined up 4 of them. One for him, myself, his lady, my lady, and we let the Jamal shots flow
like wine.
Like the salmon of Capistrano. I don't know, what is it? I forget the line.
I forget too, but I love it.
Instinctively flogged like the women of whatever. How was it?
Not bad. I've had worse. It wasn't the greatest in the world, but, I got it down.
Promise you guys, you will not hate it. You won't love it, but you won't hate it. And if you do have one, tag us on Instagram, and I love seeing the Jamal shot get out there. All right, next one.
Cody says, Joe, are you aware your son, little Alex, is sponsored by Scott Goggles, but doesn't wear Prospect goggles? The very product this show section is named after. I was not aware of that. That's got to change immediately.
Have a talk. Next one.
Van Bellinger. Why are so many of these racers Bible bangers? They're always thanking God for the win or keeping them safe. I'd love for an interviewer to ask them after a crash or a shitty result, why did God hate you tonight?
I don't have an answer for that except for, take a listen to this. This is Evan's podium championship interview from this weekend at Riverfront.
I really like that Thompson, but the new part's pretty good too.
Good dirt over there, huh? Nice and loamy, lets you get real wide open.
I will tell you.
Anybody you want to thank?
I'd like to thank my friends, my family, and God.
And my mom and dad. So Evan's a Bible thumper too. Who asked that question?
That was the boy Van Bellinger.
Hey, it's funny. I never told Evan to do that. I think he maybe heard, like probably McElrath or one of them do it. Cooper Webb always does it too. So maybe he heard. Actually, that's what it came from. Probably came from Cooper. I don't have an answer for why they do, other than it's meaningful to them, and I don't think they look at it. I don't think they look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't look at it like God gave me the win or God made me crash. I think it's just a general. I mean, it's just important in their life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If you're super, super high on it, it's kind of silly. And if you're super against it, it's kind of silly. Like, just, everyone's different, man. All good. Next one.
The OG NV Sage Runner. Is Daniel Blair 125 announcing at Monster Energy Cup and or going as a spectator?
Uncle Vincent. Uncle Vincent, are you there?
I'm here.
Uncle Vincent has called in, Joe. Explain to the listeners why you did not go to Evan's race this weekend. We just had a listener question about it. I blew you out softly. Explain.
I don't. What was the episode number that I was on last?
130, 2 ago.
Okay, well, go on that one and listen, because you said it was the 6th or something like that, and that was a Saturday. Or a Friday, Riverfront. Like, I'll be there. And then you said Riverfront Saturday that week, and I work. So what am I supposed to do, man?
Well, you would never cut it as a lawyer because you're not convincing. You want to do a couple listener questions with us?
Let's do it. Let's go.
All right.
Let's see here. Who's going to be the most improved? Tom Prestos.
Joe.
What's up, buddy? Tom _ Prestos. I love you too, bro. He says, who's going to be the most improved rider next year? Plessinger or Hill?
Plessinger, 100%.
Wow. I actually heard from someone today, a semi-reliable source, that Hill signed with Smart Top Honda. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that'd be interesting. What do you think about that, Vince? What if Hill went to the team and took... Okay, I'm going to fill Vincent in on some stuff. Brayton's going to factory Honda. So there's an opening there, and the word is they were considering Davalos or Hill, and I heard yesterday that Hill is signed.
Honda, huh?
Yeah, so what do you think? A motivated Hill with probably no salary, big bonuses, or a second year of Plessinger? You going to stick to your answer?
I don't know. The new Tool album's out, so he's going to be making a lot of covers on Insta.
Oh,
Might
man.
not be motivated.
All right, next one, Joe. Whatever. He said Plessinger. Next one.
Jimmy D _89. Why are the top riders notorious for not being at dealer signings and other team events?
Why, Vince?
Because they don't want to touch everybody's hands and get sneezed and coughed on by every single person there. Get sick.
That's true, dude. Think about that. You're an autograph signing, and like a lot of these fans are like, dude, I want to shake his hand. I want to say I shook his hand, and then they're like, nice to meet you. Like, think about the germs. And Vincent's a germaphobe. So imagine Vincent being a factory rider, signing autographs, probably sitting there having an anxiety attack as people cough.
Dude, I'd be wearing an N95 mask, dude.
Like the Asian people wear at the airports?
You're so racist.
That's not racist. They do. Every time.
Fact.
Go to SFO, dude. They all have it on. It's like they're so paranoid to breathe in our air, and I kind of don't blame them. That's San Francisco Airport.
They're the only ones I see wearing masks.
Yeah, they're smart.
Shout out Toshiki.
The N95 mask is a special mask that blocks tuberculosis. So, like, when I have to go do an X-ray on a patient that has active TB, I have to go into a reverse isolation room and wear an N95 mask.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, you're on the front. You're on the front lines, bro. All right, next one.
Salisbury 610. Does anybody have anything for Dylon this year, or is he just going to be big 250 daddy?
Hey Vince, what do you think's gonna happen with Faulkner? He just got engaged. He is in love. Is he gonna be better? Does she tame down the wild man, or does she tame him down too far and he's just like domesticated and weak?
Obviously, there's only two things that can happen. Either A, it can motivate him to be like the man of the house, the bread maker, and have that feeling of responsibility, you know? Or he could just become a complete pussy.
So only time will tell?
Yeah. You know what happened to me when I got a girl? I became a big pussy. I was way better when I was single, dude.
You
I
were.
had fire in my eyes, dude.
You were aggressive and just out for blood, and then you turned into a sissy.
I'd take you out if I had to.
It happened. And then what happened? You brought your girlfriend to the races, and it all fell apart.
Last place.
I tell Maggie all the time, she ruined my career, man. She domesticated me. She made me just too gentle and sweet.
I think Faulkner's too young to be married. He's gonna lose it. Mark me down right now. So when it happens, you be like, man, Vincent, episode number 175, he said it.
It's 132.
132, he said it.
So this is the end?
This is the end.
Oh, my gosh.
Damn.
That's big, dude. I kind of think maybe he just...
He's going to be way too busy tongue punching, dude.
Oh, no.
Next one.
JC 511.
That is not the show title.
No,
get your hand
not.
off the pen, Joe.
Yeah, no. JC 511, if you had your dream team in their prime to race the nations for Puerto Rico, who would it be? Mine would be James Stewart, Jason Lawrence, and Damon Bradshaw.
I don't know.
Mine would be Brian Villapoto. Does it have to be like different generations?
No, just mix and match, bro. Didn't you just hear? I mean, did Stewart, J-Law, and Bradshaw race at the same time? Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's free question.
Jeff Ward and James Stewart for sure.
So Stewart, Wardy, and Villapoto?
Dude. Can you imagine Ward there with a half-face helmet?
I'll go now. Jason, this is Team Puerto Rico we're talking about. I'm going to go Jason Lawrence, Tyler Evans, and Jeff Willow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I went Carmichael, Pastrana, and Stewart.
Oh, my God. Okay, Joe. God. Names the three he knows the best. The three biggest names. Hey, they'd get the biggest draw.
Whatever,
Puerto Rico,
bro. They'd win.
Pits.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is a good one. Thanks, Vinny. Mysterion 157, how long until you pull Evan from school?
Already did.
Never.
Absolutely never. Not because of school, too. Honestly, there's so many things about school that piss me off. Just things that I know what's going on there. And just me and Maggie talk about the way they do things. But it's the social interaction. It's learning how to navigate the community is more important to me. It's like learning how to get along with people and deal with like the drama at school, I think makes you better able to handle it as an adult. It's more than that than the actual school. Half the shit he's going to learn in high school is so dumb. But at the exact same time, I really like him having to navigate the crap that goes on there. Just makes him, I think he'll handle adult life better. So no, never. Well,
I think knowledge is power. You know the saying, ignorance is bliss?
Yep.
That's only said by stupid people.
Yeah. Vincent got like straight A's all through school and went to college, and you might be one of the dumber people I know. So I'm not 100% sure.
I'm just saying, the things you learn in school, you can apply to so many other things in your life, you know?
Yeah.
And it also just teaches work ethic, making plans, being there, being on time, being organized.
Yeah.
You know, completing your goals.
That's exactly the point I'm making, right, Joe? Don't you think school, more importantly than just like what you learn in the book, is just navigating it and getting up and putting up with that? I feel like there's some value there.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, but you don't realize how much of the stuff you learn in school that you use on a daily basis because you just take it for granted. You know it because you went to school.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You apply it all to your daily life. You don't even realize it.
Yeah, yet 30% of our population thinks socialism's a good thing. But yeah, people weren't paying attention in that class. All right, next one.
I don't even think they teach that in the class.
I hate socialism.
_ Zachy D. Where would 2 strokes be if 4 strokes never came around? How much would they have advanced?
Oh my! I just thought about that.
They would be rad. They would be really, really rad. Really rad. They're already rad. They would be. God, it would just sound. I don't know. That's a bad question because I feel like I could go on a. I could get really
you know what
annoyed.
It is? I feel like no matter what, we could probably 100% agree on is that most people would have access to the factory 2-strokes that they had, you know, at the time.
Yeah, and I think the cost would have never gone up dramatically. I mean, dude, honestly, 2-strokes are saving things a little bit. There's a lot of people out there that are still buying them. I mean, dude, the 50 class right now is, dude, there's so many P-dubs out there, and like, I don't know, man. It's kind of sad. And you can't really go backwards now. It's one of those things where you never really go back, but I mean, that's a whole deep conversation, but I really do think 4-strokes have made things dramatically worse in more ways than one, racing-wise and just participation. It's just ridiculous. I mean, dude, it's whatever. Next one.
Next question.
Robin Busang, DB, do you know the reason Roxon's mechanic Oscar went to Cowie?
Yeah, more money, less travel, less commute, and a promotion. It's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, sometimes in life, you're in a situation that's pretty rad. It's cool. It's whatever. And then opportunity knocks, and you got to make a decision. And then you end up just saying, screw it, and you make that call. I mean, it's probably was a tough call for him. Everybody goes through that at some point in their life. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with you, Joe, in the next year or two? Vincent, you too, me too. Who knows? Sometimes when opportunity comes, you take a close look at it and then make the switch. Anyways, next one.
Austin Leak 22. When Savacci's contract is done, I want to know the real story behind Monster Energy Cup. Bring him on and grill him for the truth.
We know the truth.
I have to say, you take this one, Vincent.
We know the truth, dude.
What?
Actually, I don't know the truth, but I could.
Hey, do you think he regrets it now?
I can bet your ass that there's already a pre-done meeting about stuff like that ahead of time. It was too perfect for him to do that.
Justin Cooper didn't get the memo at Ironman. I don't know if you saw. Actually, I know you didn't see it, but
I absolutely did not.
Ferrandis is going for the title. They see there's a slight amount of hope, and Justin Cooper was going at Ferrandis.
Oh no! I saw that,
dude. And Ferrandis was pissed about it, like threw shade in an interview, and pretty much like,
"Hey, it's motorcycle racing. Fuck off." That's what I would have said.
Well, that's what Justin Cooper said. All right, next one, Joe.
Redneck Moto X. Who y'all got winning straight rhythm?
Roxon.
Is Malcolm doing it?
No, Malcolm's racing in Montreal this weekend, though, Vincent. He's back.
You better not get hurt, dude.
I know. We talked about it with Weege. He needs to not... We need him. We need him, and I'm on the Mookie train big time. But no, Ken Roczen wins straight rhythm. No, actually, no, he won't. He'll be on yeah, I'm going to say Roczen.
Speaking of Malcolm, Jimmy Neutron 987, who has a better season, Malcolm or Brayton?
Malcolm.
K-Frame Wayne. Remember our boy, K-Frame Wayne?
That's right. What's he got to say? How many followers does he have, Joe?
Does
he got 30 yet?
He's got 24.
Nope. Still trying, huh?
He's creeping. He's creeping up. Better chance at showing up in a 450 main next season. Daniel Blair 125's beard or Justin Hill?
Hill. I mean, I can't run a beard, even though I'm pissed about that. I've been seeing more and more commentators here and there sneaking in the old beard. I might have to have a little talk when it's time to negotiate my deal. Look, I look stupider. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of not, though?
Yeah.
I look more dumb. I look less funner when I don't have a beard. I look dumb. My face looks fat and puffy, and dude, I want to run the old shadow. I'm going to negotiate that.
You look younger though.
Motoheads. Everybody hit up Feld.
No, shut up. Don't do that. This is a private conversation. I'll handle it.
Last one, boys.
I'm sure they love to hear all you idiots complain about something. Just quiet.
Finish line. Timmy_Reedy. I've avoided this guy's question for the last 5 weeks in a row. We're going to ask it because Vinny's on. You guys ready?
I know which one it is.
Marv.
Why are you giving in?
Matilde. Vincent. F1, marry one, kill one. Go.
Answer it.
All right, I'm going to marry Matilde. I'm gonna.
Hey, you know why? You know why, Joe?
Why?
Because if you crash and get hurt, she's gonna carry you off the track.
Field. And I'm gonna kill Marv, and then I'm gonna F Vincent.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right, bye, Vince.
Hey, wait.
No. What?
Is Maggie home?
Oh, why? Because the GoPro?
Yeah, because I have to stop by Gio's karate class.
No, don't pick it up tonight because I got to find the charger. I don't know where the charger is. I got to find the charger for it. It's dead, and I don't know where the charger is.
A quick plug for GoPro, but does GoPro have like a software where you can edit your video and do all that stuff?
It's 2019. I don't think they do, Vincent. I don't think GoPro has a software to edit videos. I don't think so. See what I'm talking about? See, Joe? Look how smart. Straight A's, college, got a degree, and asks if GoPro has an editing software to edit videos. See what I deal with?
I know that they probably have something to like put your videos on there, but like a real editor.
Just when I think you couldn't be any dumber. You go and say something like this. All right, Vince. Later.
Totally redeem yourself.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
Good show, Joe.
Good stuff.
Huge shout out to Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Meek Metals, Scott USA Prospect Goggles, No Toil, Honda Cowie KTM of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Keybar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to now give you a little tease and a little taste of our show, the main show. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy what you hear next.
Main event Moto. Screw it. You know it by now. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. DB and I are going to talk about what would happen if you had $120,000 magically deposited into your bank. We're also going to talk about raccoons who are getting drunk. Then we're going to talk about don't bite the hand that feeds you. We're going to talk about a dude named Lane Pittman, one of the original Florida Man type dudes. And then we're going to talk about Big Pharma. Hope you guys are having an incredible week. Thanks for starting it off with us. Remember, hit us up at themainmanshow@gmail.com. Also, jump over to the App Store or Google Play. Leave us 5-star review. Say something nice. It helps us out, and we love it. We love you. Enjoy.
The Main Show.
A learned something this weekend, Joe. You know, on this show, we're digging constantly like gold miners for fun, interesting, sometimes sad stories that are happening all across the world, but they don't come at me as fast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but something about Friday and Saturday, and I think I have a theory. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a news outlet, a media outlet, like what do you're trying to get clicks, right? Everyone wants clicks because clicks is how you get advertisers. That's how you make your money. That's how you employ your people. It's the vicious circle. Well, during the week, they feed off of everyone's anger, right? Like negative news, pissed off news, Donald Trump, Hurricane Dorian, Alabama,
abortion,
Joe Biden forgetting his own name. Well, you forgot Obama's name, right?
Yeah.
He literally,
he
brain farted.
What's up with that?
He's struggling.
The bloody eye that happened in the middle of the thing.
I mean, dude, Bernie's. They say Bernie's not. They say he's the senile one. Joe's losing it.
Honestly, man, it might be kind of sad. Like, people are making a lot of jokes, but in about 6 months to a year, it could end up being a sad thing.
I know. And you look back and you go, oops.
Yeah.
But anyways, the news is, I mean, dude, you can't even run from it. That's all it is. It's like just seeping into your life at all times. But then my theory is on the weekends when the news cycle shuts down, the main journalists, or I don't know what they're doing, they got stuff waiting, right? And they got to throw articles out. They got to keep the clicks coming. So that's when the fun stuff comes out. I've noticed that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, dude, my feed is just the funnest stuff, the weirdest stuff, like our murderous couple that's on the run. I haven't even looked. Are they still on the run?
I don't know. Do you remember their names? I'll look it up real quick.
Sandra. Oh God, what's his name? What is the dude? This couple.
Sandra.
Boris. No. see, my brain already goes there because Boris is in the news now. Now all of a sudden we got this yellow-haired British dude in my timeline all the damn time too. But no, the fun stories come on the weekend.
Boris is funny, man.
What's it? Is it Boris?
Oh, damn it. Married couple accused. I'm looking it up right now.
It's Susan Blanchard. I'm pretty sure it's Blanchard is the last name.
I think you're right, bro.
I think Blanchard is the last name.
Veteran loose after escaping custody. This is August 29th.
Are they on the run still?
Blaine and Susan
Barksdale. Are they catch them?
That article didn't say. Let me find a newer one.
Yeah. So anyways, but that's when the fun stuff comes out. And I noticed this weekend, I'm sitting there on my phone, laying in bed, and it starts coming at me. So I got some good ones for you. And you know how we've always talked about what we would do with money, right? If you got $100,000,
yeah.
If you got $1 million or $1 billion, like what would you do? I'm gonna throw another one at you. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
What if you logged into your bank account, just checking, just to see how miserable your life is, and all of a sudden you see a $120,000 deposit in there. You don't know where it came from, and you know it's probably not yours, right? Legitimately, it ain't yours. And you know that you probably need to spend this quick. What would you spend it on?
So I'd go withdraw it, and then I'd probably just put it in the safe.
So you would withdraw the cash. That's a little scary, though, because if you go to the bank and try to withdraw that amount of cash, they might look into it and then find the problem. The flag.
So you just want to go out and spend it, swipe the debit card?
Swipe and run, dude. Swipe and run.
What would I buy? Ah, shit, man. Well, you couldn't make a $125,000 purchase with a debit card.
You can do it in 2 weeks, like Robert and Tiffany did.
Damn.
A Pennsylvania couple, Robert and Tiffany, which I don't have my phone open right now, but if you saw them, you would understand. They had $120,000 deposited in their account by accident, and in 2 weeks they dropped $107,000. Joe,
wow!
A new SUV, a couple 4-wheelers, a car trailer, and they thought they got away with it. They were good.
I like where they're going.
They gave $15,000 to their friends. That's nice.
Yeah.
But they spent it in 2 weeks, right? I mean, think about it. You know that's not your money. Like, they probably were like, oh my God, we got to get this out of the account now. And they did.
I get a boat, couple jet skis.
Oh, because of your Shasta trip.
Yeah.
You're all boat guy right now, huh?
Yeah.
Boat, jet skis.
Yeah, all about
just buy a houseboat.
You could buy a houseboat.
Well, then again, you're right. You probably can't drop it all in one big shot. You probably have to go and like buy at different places. Otherwise, like even your card company's gonna be like, "Hey, is this you? Yeah, it's me." But then you know what I mean. You gotta be sneaky about it.
Maybe get a bomb out. You could get a really bomb motorhome and just take off.
Winnebago and then never be seen again.
with a couple pullouts, the big boy.
Yeah.
And then just hit the road and never be seen from again, like Susan Barksdale.
Well, Robert and Tiffany, $107,000 in 2 weeks. They went wild.
Damn.
They got caught. They got busted, obviously. I mean, the banks had eventually figured out because someone else didn't get their 120.
Yeah.
And the bank had to go and find it, and someone at the bank got fired because they messed up. They got him, and they got in big trouble. They got arrested.
For what?
Felony theft charges.
Felony theft?
Felony theft charges. Now,
I feel
Tiffany offered to pay it back in a payment plan. She's like, look, I don't have it. I love how Robert didn't do it, though. Robert's like, baby, you take this.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
She offered a payment plan, and they kind of were consider it, whatever. And then she never called again, and then they never didn't answer for a while, whatever. And yeah, they arrested them both for felony theft charges.
It seems like this could be fought in court and won on their part. Hey, look, you put the money in my account.
You knew it wasn't yours?
Yeah. Did I, though? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I expected it.
Maybe I'm dumb.
No, somebody told me they were depositing that money in my account.
I would plead dumb.
Who told you that? My mom told me that.
My old grandpa. Where is he at? He did.
Yeah.
He told me, though.
He's in the mortuary. He told me in a dream.
Told me in a dream. And he said...
I feel like a good lawyer, though, could argue that when it's in your account...
This is fresh, dude.
It's solid in your account.
This is fresh.
So did they get put in jail?
Yeah.
Wow.
But again, this is fresh. So this is not... I mean, this ain't solved. So it's... Who knows what's going to happen? And maybe the lawyer does go... I mean... Look, they knew.
Yeah.
But at the same time... The bank screwed up. You put $120,000 in my account. Like, maybe I ain't doing that, but I'll tell you what I am doing. I'm going to Sony tonight, and I'm dropping
couple hundred
for sure that I normally wouldn't do. But at the same time, isn't the bank responsible? I mean, how can they get away with this? You messed up. You put that money in my account. That is now my account, and you didn't fix it in time. You didn't catch it. In fact, they dropped $107,000 in 2 weeks. How did you not catch it in 2 weeks?
Right.
I could see in one day if you went and whatever, or just transferred it into the Cayman Islands. But for 2 weeks, you didn't catch us just buying the crap out of everything?
Man.
And now you want to come after us?
I'm
kind of with Robert and Tiffany on this one.
I mean, I kind of am too. It's such a juicy, dangling carrot right there in your face. You just want to put it in your mouth
and chew on it.
But you know that it's not yours. You know they're going to come looking for it. So what I would do is maybe leave it in there for a month. And then if nobody comes for it, then
they would get it. There was no way it would go a month.
I guess, look, if it's in there for a while, I'm probably going to call the bank and be like, yo, get your damn money out of my account because it's pissing me off. I know it's not mine.
I'm looking at it every day.
And I know you're going to come for it. So just get it out of here.
Is that what you'd really do?
Probably.
In all honesty, I probably would. Because I'm just a guilty person. And
I just know they're going to come looking for it. So it's more problem than it's worth, obviously. Look what happened to these two dumbasses.
To be fair to Robert and Tiffany, they don't look educated in the photo.
What you do is, this is what you do, son. You take that $120,000. You go buy the fattest brick of cocaine you can find. Then you turn that shit into crack and you flip it. And you turn that 120
into 240
into 500, and then you pay them back their 120. Boom, profit. You're on your way.
Oh my gosh!
Doesn't anybody listen to Master P? That's what you do.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
So you need to invest it, make at least double or triple it, and then go, you can have your 120 back.
Yeah.
Thank you for the investment.
Yeah. Oh, you're tripping on your 120? Here you go, biggity bitch.
Yeah. Well, you got 360.
Yes.
I don't know. Robert and Tiffany don't look like they could pull that off. So let's try again. What else can you do?
What could you do? Well, I guess you could roll the dice, literally. Go to the casino.
I mean, okay, that is smarter. Think about this. You know damn well they're going to come and get it from you. You didn't get away with it forever. Dude, even 5, 10, 15, take as much out as you can and go and hope that you can double it. I mean, maybe pay someone that's good at poker or black. I mean, you got to flip it, right? I mean, that's the only, if these people were smart, they would have flipped it. Go buy a bunch of shitty cars. and then fix them up and sell them real quick. I mean,
yeah, it's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? Like, even if you can only make 20 off of it.
Right.
So everyone listening, if you ever get $120,000 in your account, just PayPal that over to Joe and I.
Mm-hmm.
We will take care of it. In fact, the funny part of the article was nothing happened to the friends. The $15K that they gave to their friends, they are good. What'd they do wrong? My friends gave me money. What, are you going to put me in jail for that?
Yeah. For receiving stolen property.
That's not a law. I mean, maybe. But
Hell
they
yeah,
made
it's a
out.
law.
They made out. All right, next funny story. Tipsy raccoons in Canada.
Sounds like a band.
It's not. What do you think happened? I'm just going to let you see. Let's see where your brain goes. Tipsy raccoons in Canada.
I'm guessing that the raccoons, which are one of the creepiest animals alive, by the way, because they have a thumb, and they have hands. They look really creepy.
Trash pandas, another name for raccoon.
I'm assuming that they got into some alcohol and got wasted and just started messing with people.
Kind of. Now, I'm not let's see the right word here, a naturalist. Because if you're a naturalist, you understand this talk. Apparently, there was some fermented fruit in the area. And when the fruit gets fermented, it mixes with something, yeast and something. Something is out of my league.
Come on, man. That's just fruit wine. They're just getting drunk on that wine.
They're like this whole neighborhood is like they're just wasted, like falling off fences, crawling and dragging their legs, and people are calling animal control. Animal control is coming and I mean, figured out this was going on, but could you imagine?
That'd be weird.
Being
I can't imagine. You know why? I have a family of raccoons living in the backyard right now, and every night about 3:30 in the morning, they decide to go wander around. And Mace, one of my dogs, she can't handle it. Like
Really?
She hates raccoons.
But she don't go outside.
She does go outside.
What?
And she tries to punk them.
No, she doesn't.
And they would like
they would
eat
destroy her.
Yeah.
I know.
Because she's little tiny dog.
Imagine being the raccoon, though. I always want to put myself in their shoes, you know, or in their gloves, seeing as though they can wear gloves. Imagine you're chilling in the neighborhood. You're doing your panda thing. I mean, or your trash panda thing. You're raccoon. You're chilling. Come across some fruit. Looks good. Garbage can's empty. I guess I'll eat this tonight. Take a bite or two, and all of a sudden, dude, you feel like you had a freaking pot cookie. Because I can only imagine these things, like alcohol doesn't process like it does for us. And you are now in the backyard, wasted, can't even function, rolling around like the whole neighborhood of these things. And then you come out of it. Because they're saying these things are coming out of it like the next day. And then they're doing it again. Like a day later, they're doing it again. Like obviously, I think they're having a good time.
Alcoholics.
Maybe. Do they need AA? Do these people just need to get their fruit out of the back? I don't know, but maybe this is a solution to your problem.
That could be happening to these raccoons here in my neighborhood, because in the back corner of my backyard, I have a humongous persimmon tree. Nobody takes care of the. It's a fruit. Persimmons are fruit. Nobody takes care of the persimmons. They just all fall on the ground. I know that they're probably fermenting, and these raccoons are probably getting down on it.
Yeah, but they're not just stumbling around.
They might be. I never see them. I don't know.
I mean, maybe different fruits treat different. Maybe they're running around like they turned $120,000 of coke into $500,000 of crack. Maybe,
what if fermented persimmons turn into like meth?
That's what I'm saying.
The raccoons
what
are
I'm
like
saying
jumping through windows. They're just like, like they come through the window
with their hands.
Yes, with their hands up. One of them has a sword. Like they're just ready to go at it. I'm like, I jump out of bed.
Dude, you jump out of your bed. You
grab the shotty.
You come into the kitchen and one's just scratching its neck.
One's holding the knife.
And it's because it's drunk. It's off of fermented.
Oh shit!
What'd you call them?
Fermented persimmons, like PCP. It's just like starts fighting cops and. Like,
the next thing you know, dude, your neighbor or your homeless people that are going in your cans.
Yeah.
They're fighting them because they're in the cans too.
Totally.
Maybe that's why.
Are winning.
Maybe that's why the homeless haven't been around your neighborhood lately.
Jeez, if that's the case, I'll gladly give these raccoons some meth,
to take
some
care,
Walter White,
to take care of the homeless problem.
Crystal Blue Persuasion.
All right. Well, this is going on in Ottawa, so they have a tipsy raccoon problem, which I find to be hilarious.
That's really funny.
Next one. This one's sad. It's going to lead to a story. Don't bite the hand that feeds. I told you about that earlier. Don't buy the hand that feeds. Just remember that line. Okay, there's an end to this story. I'm gonna Chappelle you right now. I'm gonna tell you the ending before the beginning. Okay.
Okay.
Do not bite the hand that feeds. So a 76-year-old lady, she out chilling, collecting eggs. I guess that's what older people do. They collect eggs out. I don't know. It didn't go into detail. I don't know if she's a farmer or has a. I don't know if she's.
Maybe it's Easter where she comes from.
I don't know, but she's out collecting her eggs, and a rooster decides it's game over for Gam Gam, and she gets destroyed by a rooster, and it hits a something vein, varicose.
Yeah,
it's one of those times when I say words I don't know all the way.
That's all right.
Some kind of a vein. Anyways, she gets pecked in the legs, mutilated, and bleeds out, and Gam Gam died.
Damn.
From a rooster. This is the first, known, officially documented killing of a rooster against a 76-year-old lady.
Wow, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's one hell of a rooster.
Gam Gam got her. What do you think about that? I mean, what do you...
No, the rooster got Gam Gam. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
The rooster killed
Gam Gam.
Damn, Nana's
She's
gone.
out there collecting her eggs, getting them ready. I mean, maybe the rooster, felt like those were his eggs.
That is, yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you're the rooster and your hens are out putting them out, I mean...
Damn right they're his eggs.
The hens are yours, you think.
Hands off, bitch.
Hands off. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And yeah, she's just out there doing her thing, collecting her eggs. Well, she didn't know.
Maybe this was a
predator.
fighting rooster. You ever been to a cockfight?
No, but I've watched them on I get weird. I don't like that.
I went to one.
A real one?
Yeah, a real one. This old Filipino guy took me.
In America?
In America. Over in, I think it was in Stockton.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How was it?
Brutal.
Bad, right?
Yeah.
I have a really, really, really hard time with dog fighting.
Yeah, me too.
Roosters fight. I don't like cockfights.
Yeah.
I
don't like animal cruelty. I'm not a PETA member. You know how I feel about innocent creatures, kids, humans, animals. You know. But the roosters are a little different, though, man. They want to fight. They're ready.
Yeah.
They put those razor blades on their legs and they just go at it.
Okay. You ready for a little story?
So maybe this rooster was trained by grandma. Here's a twist for you.
Oh, God.
Ironic twist. Granny got rich cockfighting. This is her prized cock. She forgot to take the razors off his legs. He was on some of that persimmon PCP. And she went out there and boom, he mistook her for
another
cock. And he fought her to death. Sliced her jugular open and she bled out.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for me to tie this all in?
Yeah.
So back in the day, I had 10 acres. We lived out, it was for tracks. It wasn't we didn't have a farm. But I had a little sister. My little sister, she wanted bunnies. She wanted hens. And if you're going to have a hen, you got to have a rooster. And every morning, this son of a bitch would wake us all up with his morning cock-a-doodle-doo, right? That's what they do. They are on cue, man. And he was, whatever. He ran the coop, though. Probably had 4 hens and him. And he was the daddy. He was a jerk. He had to get tied up sometime. He was mean. He literally chased my sister around. He chased our dogs around. He was mean. And you're right. There's something about them. They are super predator. And yeah, he did his thing. He ran wild, but whatever. We liked him because he was, I don't know, he was kind of funny. He was a funny jerk.
Yeah.
Well, my dad, eventually, as we grew older and didn't care about the farm animals anymore, because that lasted a month. We didn't care anymore. My dad was the only one who would feed them. He'd go out into the coop and reach his hand in there and feed them, and the hens would do their thing, and they had eggs, and we would sometimes eat their eggs, but whatever. It was more of a, here, kids, and then, well, kids don't do that no more. They don't care, so I'll deal with it. My dad, one time, is feeding the hens, and him, just whatever, cup of their food, the special food, whatever, pours it in there, and with his arm in there, this rooster pecks my dad in the hand.
Oh, hell no.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, right?
No.
What do you think happened?
I think you had chicken for dinner that night.
No. My dad did something even worse. Now, the hens are bigger than the rooster. He's now, normally we don't bleep on the main show, but since this is tied in, Joe, learn to separate, man. Come on. No.
Can't hold my tongue.
Sorry. Listen, the hens were way bigger than him. But, the hens they're just trying to get fed. They're doing their thing. They're in line.
Yeah.
But what happens when all of a sudden the hand no longer feeds you at all? What happens when nature takes over? And let's just say the food scarcity comes into play, and you're the little one.
Damn. So he starved the rooster?
Starved them all for a minute.
Oh, no.
You know why? Hens got hungry.
Mm-hmm.
They're bigger. They were sick of getting punked around by this guy,
Did they cannibalize the rooster?
Dude, they ate the shit out of him.
Oh, damn. Remember, I told you that they'll even get a taste for eggs, and they'll eat their own eggs.
Yes.
Chickens are gnarly.
Mutilated him, dude.
Oh, no.
And ended him. And that's why...
That is probably one of the darkest stories we've ever told on this show.
And then after he was gone...
Everybody was happy.
And then we killed the hens and ate them.
Typical domestic violence case.
No, and then we went back to feeding them. And life was peaceful. And I don't really know how science works, but was that the end of the eggs? I think that might have been the end of the eggs, right?
I don't really know how science works, brother.
Dude, is that how it goes down?
I don't know. I missed that day in health class. I'm not sure.
I did too.
I don't know how chickens procreate.
Anyway, so yeah, drunk raccoons, killer roosters,
cannibal chickens, cannibal hens,
animal meth, and $120,000 deposited in your account. These are the stories that make their way onto my feed when everything political takes a break. And that's why I love weekends. That's when I get the juice.
The Main Show.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm down for anything.
Okay. Now that we've recovered.
You remember the video of the guy standing out there in the hurricane with the American flag and he's headbanging and
Yes,
Slayer's playing?
Stank Dog.
Dude, Stank Dog's twin brother, right?
Do you know that when I posted that as a joke about Stank Dog, many people thought that was really him?
Of course. Why wouldn't they?
It looked
just like him. And like something he would do.
Yes. Like Stank Dog would randomly be in a hurricane in Florida.
Hey, he could be. He's driving around in the stank bus, practicing, riding. He's in hurricane.
Yeah, he would do that. Anyways, yes, I do remember the video.
So that dude, Stank Dog's twin brother, his real name is Lane Pittman. All right? He was in Vice the other day, Vice News.
The real guy.
The real guy. His real name is Lane Pittman.
All right.
All right?
So what's up with Lane? Why is he back in the news?
So Lane, he's back in the news because he's trying to raise money for Hurricane Dorian victims. And so he's getting ready, or he's already done a new video of him headbanging in the thing to raise money for Dorian victims, right?
No, that's not what happened. The guy had his 15 minutes, and he wanted more.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a guy, and then that video went viral, and he probably got a lot of attention real quick, and then it all died off because it was just a guy with a flag and a hurricane. And he's like, dude, life hasn't been the same. I got to do something. Let's raise some money for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying I'm suspicious. That's all I'm saying. I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious of his motives.
Well, in typical DB fashion, you are 100% wrong. Lane Pittman is a stand-up, God-fearing, church-going young man. And that was the second time he's gone viral. The first time, the whole reason why he even went viral to begin with the American flag and the hurricane, Stank Dog's twin brother, Lane Pittman, one of the original Florida Man guys.
So he's from Florida?
He's from Florida.
Okay.
The first time he went viral, the reason why he even blew up was because of course, he's a guitar player, right? Surprise, surprise. He's like a shredder on the guitar. He can kill it.
I could
have called that, right? He had a video of him playing the Star Spangled Banner at a community event in Florida, whatever town he lives in. And he ended up getting arrested because while he's playing, a crowd started to form around him, and they're all cheering for it. Yeah, right. And the crowd got a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger. So by the time he gets to the end,
oh, and then he had fireworks.
No fireworks, unfortunately. Just his fiery red hair.
Okay.
Homeboy ends up getting arrested just for playing the Star Spangled Banner because the crowd got kind of big And the cops walk up to him. They're like, turn around, please. Spread your legs. Boom. They handcuff him. The crowd starts chanting, F the police. F the police. Right? They're like talking all kinds of shit, chanting a bunch of like anti-cop things.
Okay.
And this is all caught on video. And it gets posted. And big bands started to see this. I'm talking like Foo Fighters and Slayer and a bunch of metal bands saw this. And they're like sharing the video. And they end up meeting Lane Pittman, and like he starts booking all of these gigs at sporting events to play the Star Spangled Banner on the guitar. That was before the Hurricane video.
No way.
So that was the first time he went viral, was with the Star Spangled Banner getting arrested. Then some time later, he said he's sitting at home and one of his family friends or something is like, dude, you should go out on this Hurricane headbang with the American flag, just on a whim.
And then they edit in.
And Lane's like, yeah, for sure. And so they just said they timed it right. They said it took them 10 seconds. They heard the hurricane coming because you can hear it. It sounds like a train.
Really?
Yeah. And so they heard it coming. They got ready. And then some dude with his phone. God, Jennifer looking good.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, sorry.
Jennifer Garner looking real good. And I'm not really a fan of hers.
Me neither.
But in this commercial.
She kind of has like a dumb face, but.
Look at.
Jen's doing good.
Doing real good, Jenny.
All right.
Ben done goofed.
In more ways than one. All right.
So the buddy records him on video. It took him 10 seconds. They upload it. And dude says it in the video I watched on Vice News. He says it was like pouring gasoline on a fire. It just, the moment he put it up, it just went crazy. So the Foo Fighters are like buddies with him now because of the original video of the national anthem.
I feel like an asshole.
And so the Foo Fighters are like, Lane Pittman. They like text his name and it blows up again. And so then he was back in the news for the Hurricane video and blah, 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 blah. So in the thing, he's talking, they show him like praying with a group of like people and kids. I mean, he's like a really good dude.
Keep talking. I got to look this guy up.
Look it up, buddy.
I just want to know what
Lane
in fact, I don't even know what he actually looks like other than just the headbanging video.
He looks like Stank Dog without the mustache.
Lane.
And without the years of drug abuse.
Pittman.
Yeah.
Okay, so
anyway, obviously it's been some time since that original Headbanger Hurricane video. And so he still plays shows, he still does the national anthem places and blah, blah, blah. And anyway.
So he's raising...
They said he's raising some money.
By doing what? What's he doing?
He's going to do another video, and I don't know how I guess he's getting pledges from people. I don't really know how he's raising the money. I didn't get it too far into that aspect of it. Wow. I don't even think it's said in the video, but anyway, I thought that was interesting because of this reason right here, bro. All of that to say this. Do you remember when you and I had the idea to do a segment on Florida Man, the infamous Florida Man, because every single day in the news, Florida Man is in the news?
Yes.
So Vice Magazine, Vice News, they now have a segment called WTF, but it's like WT Florida. So it's like what the Florida kind of thing, where they talk about Florida Man.
Damn it.
We had that idea, bro, way before they did. Because every day, Florida Man steals 25 turkeys and a box of condoms.
Florida Man steals a bunch of crab legs. Oh, that's Jameis Winston, NFL quarterback. I mean, it fits, right?
Yeah.
He's in Florida.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, man.
So when Lane Pittman is in the news, it's Florida Man headbangs in a hurricane.
And then it's on Vice.
Florida Man arrested for playing national anthem at a city get-together.
Well, in the very wise words of Happy Gilmore's caddy, actually Happy Gilmore himself, to his caddy, where were you on that one, dipshit? Why didn't we do Florida Man, Joe?
I don't know.
Producer?
I don't know.
Producer Joe?
We talk about stories from Florida every
Why
once in a while.
didn't we lock in
I don't know,
on
buddy.
Florida?
Missed that chance.
You know, it probably wouldn't have taken off as quick as Vice has taken it off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
screw Vice.
They would have done it anyway, and then it wouldn't have mattered.
Aside from those random news stories, Vice just absolutely blows.
I know, but...
they were blowing out Dave Chappelle saying, like, it's not funny, Dave needs to be canceled, blah, 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 blah. Shut the f*** up.
Yeah, kind of bleep that one too, man. Come on, man. Separate, bro. Separate. Anyways, no, that's pretty funny. I feel
Separate
bad.
what? This is the real show, main show.
I know
I'm not gonna
it
be
is.
a fake ass
Kids
bitch.
live. Oh, by the way, speaking of kids,
Like some people I know.
some people listen to this. You don't deal with what I deal with. Saturday night after the races last weekend, all the kids are running wild because the series is over and all the kids are on their bicycles running around. And I go out there to check on Evan. He's out there on his bicycle. 2 little kids come up to me. We like Main Event Moto. Listen every week with our dad. Little, like 9 and 10-year-olds. Joe?
So what? We're not responsible to raise some other dude's kids.
I know, but man.
If they like them listening to the show, then more power to them.
All right, well.
It's not your responsibility.
That's true. But at the same time, dude, I'm just trying to look out.
Stop it.
All right. Anyways, well, that's cool. I feel bad for
You're a
Florida,
libertarian.
man. I'm a libertarian, but at the same
Let
time,
people look out for their own.
I know, but at the same time, I look out for kids when parents don't.
Mary Poppins over here.
Which at the same time, I feel really guilty. I did a real big no-no. In fact, I got chewed by Maggie, and she was right. Usually, I don't let her talk to me that way.
Uh-oh.
You
better not.
I mean, speaking of the rooster and the hen, look,
go all Susan Barksdale on that.
No, I'm the rooster in my house. All right. Maggie is the hen. Just lay your eggs and be quiet. But she did get mouthy, and she was right. On the way home from Riverfront on Sunday, I let Evan sit in the front seat. It's a big no-no. And I did it because he asked, and I was proud of him, and I shouldn't have probably let him. But what's he do? He gets right home, tells Elena. So then last night, I take Elena to Walmart to get her a toy. She wanted a hula hoop because she's just hulaing right now, hard. Daddy, can I sit in the front seat like Evan? And I felt so bad because you know how I am with the kids. I feel I don't want her to feel like he gets more than her. He does get more than her, big time. Just because he's older, he races, whatever, and she's just newer to the game, whatever. I feel bad. So I let her sit in the front seat on the drive. And she is, I shouldn't even be saying this. People, y'all are going to lose a lot of respect.
Great.
For me. But at the same time, she's little, she's supposed to be in a car seat. I let her sit in the front seat. It was a 1 mile drive home. I drove home so paranoid, but I let her.
I'm calling CPS.
You know what she did to me, though? She's the one who blew me out to Maggie. I told her, don't tell Mama. And guess who told Mama? She did.
Yeah, buddy.
So trust tree broken.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what? That's an interesting thing. So Evan's 9, going on 10 years old, and he can't sit in the front seat. Does he still sit in a
like a booster? No. He actually, I think he's supposed to.
Really?
I think it's a
That's
weight
bullshit,
thing. I think it's like
dude.
80 pounds.
I was 5 years old. I was standing up on the bench seat of my dad's old Chevy with a metal dashboard. And he slammed on the brakes. I hit my head. I'm totally fine.
It's different.
9 years old in a Prius. Sit in the front seat.
It wasn't in a Prius. It was in the truck.
Even better.
I know.
It's bigger.
I know, man.
Sit in the front seat. You wear your seatbelt.
I'm a law-abiding citizen, man.
You can turn off the airbag.
I did. I actually did. I turned it off.
That's what I'm saying. Kids are fine.
And tell Maggie right now. She listens.
This is Nerf corners all over the world.
Tell Maggie right now. Tell her what you think.
Nah, I don't need to do that.
You see her text?
That's all right.
Getting feisty with the show, too?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I like it.
She listens to the show. She all of a sudden thinks she's Siskel and Ebert, and she's going to write in. Or it's not Siskel anymore, right?
Nah.
Did Siskel die?
I think he did. I think Ebert did, too.
No.
No? Let's see.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, no.
What was Ebert's first name?
What do you think? Before you look. What do you think?
Roger. It just came
right.
to me. Yeah, I am
Roger
right.
Ebert?
I am right. Yeah, he died in 2013.
So they're both dead?
Yeah, I think so, man. Siskel went first.
Man, that had to have been hard. Think about it, man. All those years. That's like you and me. What if?
Yeah, dude. Siskel died in 99.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, that's weird, too. You ever know that? I mean, it doesn't always happen, but old people, they live together forever. They make it far, all the way. Dude, 90, late 90, whatever. When one of them goes, the other one usually goes right after, out of, like, sadness. Like, it's not like every time. Some of them are probably like, about time. Like, I'm going with centerfolds. But you know what I mean?
Some of them stick it out, though. Grandparents, you know.
I just know that it's like a known thing that it happens a lot.
It does.
And I mean,
it does.
They go. I mean,
died of a broken heart.
Look at the movie The Notebook. There's like 30 seconds difference. And there was nothing even wrong with him. Just sad.
Yeah.
I'd be sad too. Rachel McAdams.
Oh, that would be sad.
That would be rough. All right.
Anyways.
You ready to talk about opiates?
Florida man, bro.
You want to talk about drugs?
Sure.
Okay.
The Main Man Show.
You've heard of Johnson & Johnson, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got a lot of stuff, but what's their main thing?
I would say like
baby oil or something?
Baby oil. I would say like, baby shampoo where you don't cry or whatever.
Yeah, where it gets in their eyeballs and they don't cry because it's, it sucks. That stings. You ever had shampoo in the eyeballs?
Never. No, of course, dude.
Dude.
It burns like hell.
I know. The Johnson & Johnson, we talk about this all the time on the show, how someone owns someone owns someone owns someone. Remember we talked the other day, Burger King and Popeyes are owned by the same company, which, by the way, did you hear that the White Claw now is out of stock?
Yeah,
This is a fake fad. They're all running out of products because it's marketing. They're liars, and I'm with you 100%. It's fake.
This is what you do. You go grab a 6-pack of White Claw, you put it up on eBay. Let the market dictate that price.
Brian Alquist, my business partner at Eagle Grit. Did you know, who was it that Hostess? Which one of them went out of business for a while?
The Twinkies, right?
The Twinkies?
Yeah.
He bought a bunch of them and then sold them on eBay.
Genius.
He did. He bought a bunch and saved them and
Did he make some profit?
I think he ate most of them.
Unfortunately, they brought him back.
Yeah, right back.
It was messed with people's supply demand.
It was. But another thing, did you see the follow-up on Popeyes?
Last I heard, they were out of chicken.
No, they're having another deal. What happened? Oh, God. They were out of chicken, but then it was back, and then they...
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, something just happened with them, too. But anyways, we always talk about companies that own companies that own companies. Well, Johnson & Johnson right now is in big trouble, and this is a couple weeks old, but it's all good. They are being sued by the state of Oklahoma, and they kind of won, I guess. They kind of lost. You tell me if it's a win or a loss. They got sued for like $17 billion or something like that by the state of Oklahoma, and they didn't have to pay that. They lucked out. But they did lose, and they are now paying $572 million. You know why? Because for 20 years, they sold the magic drug, like an Oxycontin. 20 years, 6,000 deaths that are traced back to this drug that they sold and they pushed recklessly for profits. And when they got sued, they lost. They got sued for $17 billion, and it was supposed to be for a 30-year addiction treatment type plan to come back and help, almost like a community thing to like fix and right the wrong of what's going on in Oklahoma, which is Oklahoma is like one of the worst states that got hit by the pill epidemic.
Yeah.
So anyways, they lose, but they win because they don't have to spend $17 billion. They only have to spend $572 million. What do you think about that generally? We've talked about it, and we haven't dove in yet. We've been wanting to. Just the opioid crisis and pharmaceuticals and the billions of dollars they've made helping people, which I'm assuming that was maybe the original intent. But you always talk about the consequences that come on the backs of some of these things. Dude, this is a huge problem. Huge problem in the country. The states, the cities, the counties. They're striking back, and they're winning. What do you think, in general terms?
I think that this is a hard one. The lawsuit thing, the money. So let's focus on that for a second. The $500 million, right?
That's what they ended up having to pay. The judge ruled.
Yeah, and they're going to appeal, and we'll see what happens. And or is that from the appeal? Because the original was $17 billion.
No,
or whatever.
They went after $17 billion.
Yeah, they got
the judge.
They're going to appeal that.
They wanted $17 billion over a 30. They projected it would cost $17 billion over a 30-year period to handle the recovery of this. And the judge said, "Nah, we'll give you the money for 1 year."
Right,
almost like, why don't you back up a little bit? Which I have a point on that. I'll make in a second. But yeah, what do you think?
That's rough because what do you do with that money? People are dead. What do you do? Give it to the families of people who died?
No. This isn't a class action lawsuit. This is the community suing to get the money back so they can funnel it back into
Sounds
the
like
community.
a cash grab. I mean,
dude, that's the first thing I thought.
Anybody who wants to know about the opioid crisis needs to read the book Dreamland by Sam Quinones. It documents the history of it from the very beginning to right now, present day. And it is deeper than you could ever possibly imagine. Crossing international borders, man. It's huge and it's insane and it's big. This is just the smallest drop in the biggest bucket. There's not enough money in the world to repair the damage done by these pharmaceutical companies. I mean, this is cartels, this is government, big pharma, this is everything tied in together.
Well, and that's why I'm wondering, too, when you talk about the lawsuit, this isn't a class action lawsuit where the families are going to be recouped. They're saying they're going to take this money and they're going to give it back to the community in ways for treatment and all that. Well, yeah, I don't know. Call me suspect. I'm sorry, but I don't trust the government. You're trying to tell me that this money is going to go back. They're going to get, if they were to win, $17 billion going back to the state of Oklahoma. What? And they're gonna handle it?
No,
because they do a good job on everything, right?
Yeah.
It just seems a little fishy to me. Like again, that the people and the families aren't going to be getting any of this. It's all going back.
Well, and I don't know if the people
unquote.
and the families necessarily should. I don't know how you would even divide that up and pay them. I mean, like what? Some addict, I'm sorry, but a heroin addict switches to pills and they die. And so now the company's supposed to give them money.
Well, they say this lawsuit is it's public nuisance laws. And that's what they're going after them. They say that these companies have been a public nuisance over 20 years with reckless sales, not bringing up to, and you know how the whole thing goes. It's not like they're out there selling them on the corner. They funnel them through doctors.
Yeah.
And so the doctors are responsible for this too. They've been getting kickbacks.
Oh,
you
yeah,
think they
for
don't?
sure.
They that's what they do. I would actually love to hear from someone. We get, luckily on the show, we do get a lot of emails about the topics that we talk about. So if you're in that world at all, bring to light some things that maybe we don't know, but I'm just suspect of the whole thing because, I can tell you right now, I know people that have been Florida, what we talked about, and speaking of Florida, there was that one area of Florida that was like the capital of the world for pills. These manufacturers were pumping and making it out, and they were tracing them all over the country. They were all coming back to this one area where they were just pushing them out to doctors. Everyone was getting rich off it. And we watched the wonderful Wild Whites of West Virginia. It all gets into the hands of those people too. This is not a controlled environment where it really gets to the right people only. They knew the consequences of this, right? And in fact, it's funny because they fight back. You know what they said, Johnson & Johnson? The problems that you've seen, there is no relation to their conduct.
Wow.
That's what they said back.
I
That's
guarantee
what the lawyer
you
said.
there is a cache of emails, internal emails, that prove otherwise.
I mean, these are the lawyers fighting back, talking, using legal terms.
And not
whatever.
just Johnson & Johnson, every company. They knew how addictive these were, and they knew that it was being abused, and they knew that their pharmaceutical reps who are standing in the office of every doctor in the country telling them that these new opioids and opiates were not addictive.
Magic drug is what they called it.
Yep.
The magic drug. It will heal you. It's whatever.
They were saying these are not addictive. We have a new, a new form of measurement in medical care, which is pain management. You're very familiar with pain management, especially in Moto. Every dude who's been hurt is familiar with that term.
Yeah.
That didn't exist before.
Well, it's funny, too, with Moto you bring up because, this epidemic has bit the industry numerous times. We have some riders in our sport who tragically got caught up in that. And the list is long. Average riders, aspiring talent, and then top guys. The names Austin Stroop, Nico Izzy. J-Law's kind of disappeared, so we all kind of don't really know what happened with him all the way, but let's just say the availability of this and the prescription of this for helping you, dude, it's dangerous. Straight up. I've twice in my life come off of surgery, taken Norcos, just Norcos. That's all I've ever done. I took Oxycontin one time, and I'll tell you how it went. It was pretty gnarly. But dude, they grab a hold of you, and that's hard to break off of. And if you have a personality that is addictive, and can get caught up and kind of, fall down that hole, you're done for. You're done for. And that goes back to what you always say, though, the unintended consequences. Now, do you think that this was initially meant to be good, or do you think these people were smart enough to know through their testing that we're going to make trillions off this? Or was this meant to be good? Because I feel like back then, when the internet didn't exist as much and the communication wasn't as fast, they could take over with this before you really know what's going on.
This was never... it started off for the very shortest amount of time as something good when they thought that they had stumbled upon less addictive, pain-killing drugs, but quickly realized that that was not the case, but continued to propagate that rumor. No, doc. You need to prescribe these. They're way less addictive than they used to be. We fixed it. We fixed the formula now. You can't get addicted to it.
And
in fact, now you have to ask every patient you have on a scale of 1 to 10 where their pain level is, and then just prescribe them painkillers, buddy. Everybody got rich off of it. They immediately realized that it was a $1 trillion industry.
So it was quick. Yeah, it was quick. You ever had an issue with it?
Never had a reason to take them, and I do have an addictive personality. I've known that for a long time, especially in my 20s.
Did you just say vindictive?
Addictive.
Sounded like...
Did I say vindictive?
I think it was indictive.
It's both, you motherfucker.
All right. What is it?
So I just decided that I didn't want to go down that route because I had taken other things in the past in my early 20s.
So you knew your own tendencies.
And knew it, yeah. And so luckily, I never had an injury severe enough that it required heavy-duty meds.
My first ACL tear and surgery, I got prescribed pain medicine. I was in, brutal pain coming out of that surgery, like violent pain. And they prescribed me Oxycontin. That was the first pain pill I ever took in my life as that's 2003, 21 years old, fresh out of surgery. Oxycontin, bottle of Oxy. I took one. And it was so unbelievably bad reaction and terrifying and just like I was dying. It was that bad. It was just that harsh. And not everybody reacts to things the same as other people. Some people are like, it was the best feeling in the world. It was like dying to me. So that was it. I actually, unbelievably, this is so crazy that this happened. I ended up trading it to a tattoo artist. I gave him a bottle of Oxycontins for Maggie. I think got a free tattoo. I hadn't had one yet. This is back in the day. Whatever. Hope that guy's doing okay because he got a free bottle of Oxys. Anyways,
damn.
Then they gave me Vicodin. It's too heavy. Let's give you Vicodin. Vicodin makes me sick, like nauseous, like puke sick. I don't know what's in it that makes me whatever. Nope, not good. Then I got Norcos. And dude, magic drug, no pain, magic feeling, floating, happiness. Oh my God, unbelievable. And do you know how hard it was for me to come off that the first time? Brutal. When I was out and I was told, like, you're not getting any more, dude, that was the worst probably 10 days ever. Like, not because I was in pain, but I was in such discomfort, withdrawal, agony, just... a different feeling. It's hard to explain coming off of that, how bad it is. And that's why, dude, it would have been so easy. If I was, again, super paranoid of being stuck on this, I need some more. Get me some more. Get some more. And then eventually your dose, like, dude, 2 pills ain't enough. I need 4. I need 5. It just escalates. And it's dangerous. And again, these guys aren't stupid. They know that when they prescribe it to you. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't serve a purpose. I'm telling you right now, it does work. And I've learned now because the second time that I kind of had a little bit of a hard come off was my last femur injury. And what I did strategically is I cut myself down. I had 20 pills left and I knew it was time to come down. And the reason why I knew is because I started not really having pain. I started getting high off of them. To me, that's usually when it goes. Like, you're in pain. Ow, take it. Oh, better. Sleep through the night. Better. All of a sudden, I'm not really feeling any pain, but I'm buzzing, and I like it. That's when it's time to cut your consumption in half. And I literally did. I weeded my way out to where the last 2 weeks, I was taking a half a pill only at night. Think about that. A half a pill at night only. But still, with the 2 months that I was coming off of that, when I was finally all the way out, the next week, dude, was brutal because it was still in your system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I went full cold drop, it was a week of just my whole body hurt. I was mad. I was super moody. And then by the 5th, 6th kind of day, whatever, I was me again. And dude, I'm telling you right now, like you have to be so strong and determined to get off of it.
Well, and
that's
just
horrible.
to take the effort, personal responsibility to step yourself down is strong, dude. Props to you for having the self-reliance and responsibility to do that, because that's really, really hard.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that internal strength to like know that it's going to be bad, and so they have to be in control enough to step down like that. I don't think I would have. I wouldn't be capable of doing that. I'd want to just take them all and keep doing it,
and just say F it.
Yeah,
dude, it's bad. But again, back to them. Is this
the addiction is real,
dude? So what? I mean, what's going to happen here? Are they just going to have to start paying out? Dude, there's 2,000, like over 2,000 pending cases right now.
What's going to happen here is they're going to hire new lobbyists. They're going to get all these cases thrown out. Johnson & Johnson, Purdue, name your company. Purdue's actually in a little bit of hot water, but the companies are going to hire new lobbyists and get out of it. 2,000 pending cases. They'll get out of 1,998 of them.
Someone will take the hit.
They'll pay a little penance. Like I said, this is the smallest drop in the largest bucket.
That sucks, man. Because again,
they're just too powerful.
6,000 lives.
And way too many people are making way too much money on it.
6,000 lives in Oklahoma over 2 decades. That's Oklahoma.
6,000 lives is nothing. This thing has killed more people than most wars combined.
And you never hear about it.
No.
In fact, even these news articles, they slip through pretty bad. You got to go find them.
Yeah.
And that's... makes you wonder who's in bed with who. Because why is this not being talked about as like the biggest epidemic for everything? Not just for people dying, but just relationships. The fact that they get into the hands of kids. Whatever.
Yeah, it was so under the radar for so many years. One day, all of these rural communities woke up in like places like New Hampshire and Oklahoma and you know, mid-state
just
country states, you know, mid-country states, that they wake up one day before they know it, and all these people are dying, man. And in that book I mentioned, Dreamland by Sam Quinones, they talk about the reason why they couldn't really calculate all the numbers and know about this problem right away was because all of the coroners throughout all of these states and these cities were labeling these deaths as different things. And so they weren't able to track a correlation.
Wow.
Because they're being labeled, one's labeled them an overdose, one of them's labeled accidental suicide, one's labeled them in this and that and that. And so they weren't able to compare and contrast and actually build a consensus.
And build like, hey, this was involved too. And all of a sudden they probably woke up and went, whoa.
Yeah. Started with cheap heroin, and then when they can't get the heroin, they switch over to these powerful painkillers, and then the next thing you know, everybody's ODing and or getting addicted and having all kinds of problems.
That's brutal, man.
It's a mess.
Super sad. Wish it would get cleaned up. But again, living in this country and this world, that money talks, bro. And money will probably win the day, which is sad, but it's reality we face. So good luck, everybody. Take on this world the best you can, and don't take pills, man. Unless you're ready for a fight. That's all I'm saying.